Since the formation of the Greater Neuse River Conference in 2005, no school has claimed more conference crowns than the Garner Trojans. Tonight, a new threat arises in the Trojan Kingdom as the Knightdale Knights look to begin a dynasty of their own. From Knightdale High School, it's 7-2 Garner against 7-1 Knightdale. Chris Edwards, Joe Simmons, it's great to have you with us. And Joe, when we survey tonight's landscape, we start with Garner. Everyone knows all about Garner's offense, but it's been the defense that's been the question mark for the Trojans so far this year.
Yeah, so far this year, the offense has been very productive, Chris, but the defense hasn't really lived up to what everyone expected. However, they have played well enough for them to win games, so it could get very interesting out here tonight.
On the flip side for Knightdale, virgin territory for the Knights, as some are calling this the biggest game in program history.
Yeah, when you have a team that is facing a team that has won so many championships, you want to play at your best, so this one had to be circled on the calendar as a game that they will be looking forward to.
Let's look now at our stars to watch, and we'll start with Garner. It begins in the backfield with Nyheim Hines, 37 total touchdowns for the Garner Junior.
Yeah, Nyheim Hines is all that. He's one of those kids who can do a lot of things and a lot of things well. You can split him out at receiver, you can hand him the ball, he can hurt you in the kicking game. He does everything well. He's one key cog to that team.
And for Knightdale, it's Marquavius Johnson, the catalyst to their offense.
He makes everything go. He's the centerpiece of that offense, and when he's doing things well, passing the ball, running the ball, they're a very tough offense to stop.
Well, that's the scene set here from Knightdale High School. Joe and I return with the opening kickoff. It's Garner and Knightdale, and it's next on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Back inside Knightdale High School, crowd still gathering here at Knight Stadium. Chris Edwards, Joe Simmons back up in the booth now as we get set for the marquee game in the Greater Neuse River Conference tonight. And Joe, there was much Fowderall spewed out throughout the entire week about this game. We're just about ready to kick it off. And now your final thoughts before we get ready to kick things off and open up what shapes up to be the conference championship game here in the Greater Neuse River.
I think it's an exciting game because you've got a couple of guys on both teams that are difference makers, and both guys have the ability to change the game. But I think it's going to come down to who else steps up for both teams. Both of those guys are marquee players, and they've kind of got top billing from everybody and all the people around the state. But it's going to come down to what other players step up and awake to the challenge, because Nyheim Hines is a dangerous playmaker, but he can't do it by himself. And Marquavius the same way. He's one of those kids who can do a lot of different things, but he's going to need his teammates to be special around him in order to make it work. And when you look at both of these teams and how they stack up, they're pretty balanced across the board after that. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, Chris.
Garner has brought a busload, as they normally do. Knightdale's fans are filling in. Really, we mentioned this in the open, though, Joe. Garner has been in these games, seems like every year after year, as the Trojans bust through the banner and run onto the field here at Knightdale. But this is really virgin territory for Knightdale. The Knights played in this game last year. They were 7-1, went to Garner, got beat 42-6 right here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. This year, Knightdale has this game at home. It's the pink night game for Knightdale. They have all things pink in support of breast cancer awareness. This is kind of the night, what Knightdale's hoping for. This is kind of their coming out party, so to speak.
Well, it is, and it's one of those things where, expectations are high this year. They've come out and they've played well. They played well last year, except for the Garner game for the most part. And it's just going to come down to execution. Garner's been in this situation millions of times, so they're well prepared for it. They're one of the best coached teams around. They've got a lot of people in their community that stand up with them, and they know what this is like, and that's a little bit of an advantage for them. Knightdale, this is all brand new. And with new things comes, a lot of expectations, and with expectations come uncertainty. And so you don't really know what you're going to get from them. Are they going to come out tonight? Or are they going to play to their potential and make this a really good ball game? Or are they going to come out tonight and, let the nerves get the best of them and have a Garner team step up and, take advantage of the situation?
We mentioned the pink night. You saw the banners and all the pink. The cheerleaders are sporting Knightdale, ready to bust through their banner down there on the home side and into the playing surface as we get set to kick it off. Joe, let's look now at some of your final thoughts and things you're going to be keeping eyes on, maybe not keys to the game, but things you'll be watching as we progress on tonight.
Well, I'm going to be looking to see how the offensive line and defensive lines hold up for both teams. I think they're going to be the keys to making this thing go. Also, execution in the passing game. You know, you have two legitimate guys who can run the ball, but, you know, how effective are you going to be on those third and long situations when you can't just run a tall sweep, when you've got to give it back, you got to get it in the air and get it to the receivers? And are the receivers being disciplined in their game? So there's a lot of intangibles in this game, and there are two teams that are balanced with a lot of athletes, and the team that has the best participation from the unexpected is probably going to be the team that wins the game.
Knightdale ready to come onto the field. You saw their beat Garner sign. This has kind of been the game they've had circled on their calendar this year. There was a pep rally after school today. They had a local TV news crew come in to do a story this morning on their morning news. There were students at Knightdale that were camped out since 2 o'clock this morning, ready to be on the news and in advance of this game tonight. So the students are ready on both sides, and the fans starting to file in as well. We're glad that you've joined us on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel here tonight. Chris Edwards, Joe Simmons, and what promises to be one heck of a high school football matchup tonight.
Yeah, Chris, and you know, Garner understands that, you know, they're the hunted, but Knightdale has to understand too that to be the man, you got to beat the man, you know, in the words of Ric Flair. And you know, Garner is the team to beat. They, you know, so everybody's got Garner circled on their schedule, and that's one thing about them. They're getting everybody's best every week because they've been the dominant team in this conference for so long. I mean, it's an upstanding tradition. You wear the bullseye on your back, but they wear it proud. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, if they have the ability to hang on to their title, or is this going to be the night where, you know, they go down for the 3 count.
You see Adam Hamrick, Garner's offensive coordinator. His offense will have to wait a little while before it gets onto the field. As Garner won the toss, they deferred their option. So it'll be Knightdale getting the football or the first crack at offense. And we mentioned in the open about Garner's defense. It's been much maligned this year, but in fairness to this Garner defense, plagued by injuries and finally starting to get some guys healthy. And really at the right point of the season, you see Robert Cincinnati, the head coach at Knightdale. In his 4th season here at Knightdale, he's 21-19 in his career, 0-3 all-time against Garner. He inherited this program, Joe, after the Knightdale program went 1-11, came in, turned them around, and now Knightdale in the hunt for a conference championship and some Garner assistance on the other side as well.
Yeah, and you know, you mentioned the Garner defense, but they lost a lot of studs last year. They were so good. I mean, the last year, that was, in my opinion, it was one of the best defenses in the state from what I'd seen. And they lost a lot, but you look at they're going to be good like that again. They've got a lot of 11s when you look at juniors on that defense, and you know, those guys are just going to get better and better. So it's just a matter of learning the system, incorporating the system, and being the man in the position where you may have been a backup a year ago.
Misspoke earlier. Knightdale won the toss. They deferred, so it'll be Garner's offense that will get on the field first, and it'll be Nick Pope, the senior, who's ready to boot it away for Knightdale. Knights clad in their black jerseys. Garner the road whites, blue numerals, gold trim, traditional Garner written across the front. Nyheim Hines is back deep for the Trojans. Raquan Britton and Jermaine Royster all back deep for the Trojans. Glad that you've joined us on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel tonight for the marquee game in the Greater Neuse. We're off and running from Garner High School. Short kick. Raquan Britton has the ball for Garner. Going to try to reverse fields and get up to the 30-yard line. So decent starting field position for Garner. 69 yards to go for Paydirt. And we'll get a look at Brighton Hudson and the Garner offense so far for their first drive of the night.
Well, smart move by Knightdale. Don't get the ball in Himes' hand and let him be the one to hurt you right away and have an electric start to the game. Kick it a little shorter and give up a little bit in field position, but have a chance to play defense and not be behind the 8 ball right away.
Garner comes out with a toss to Nyheim Hines, the stud for the Trojans. He'll get about 4 or 5 yards. Hines entered play tonight, 1,971 rushing yards, 31 touchdowns, as accounted for 39 total touchdowns this year. And now Garner going to go to a hurry-up offense to start the ballgame. Hudson under center will toss it to Hines, running near side now, and he's spun down at the 34-yard line. And that'll bring up the first 3rd down of the night. 3rd down, 6 yards to go. And Garner again going to run some hurry up, Joe.
Yeah, they're speeding up the pace. They like to keep the pace fast. And here you see on the tall sweep, the outside linebacker does a good job of coming off the edge and setting the edge and not getting Hines a chance to make that inside move.
And now Hudson throwing for the first time tonight, completes one to the outside, and Braden Sims right there near the first down marker, might be about a yard short. The 26th catch of the year for Sims entered play with 239 receiving yards, and it's going to be good enough to move the chains for Garner. So Sims, that possession receiver for Garner, he gets enough for a first down and moves the sticks for the Trojans. in the eye now. It'll be Hines trying to find a hole, and he's swarmed under and thrown for a loss. A whole caveat of players in there to make the stop. The initial hit made by number 48, Grant Peters, the senior middle linebacker. Donovan Kearney also in on the stop for Knightdale. Loss on the play brings up second down.
Good job by the interior lineman of doing getting penetration and allowing Peters to get up the field and make a tackle. And you can see a host of Knightdale Knights were roaming to the ball, and they were able to make a nice tackle on Hines in the backfield.
Garner from the shotgun for the first time tonight. It's Hines in motion. Play fake. They'll fire a little slant pass, and heavy contact there. Knocked away by Justin Blango, the junior cornerback. Garner maybe wanting a flag there, but no dice. It's 3rd down and 14 for Garner.
Very unlikely you're going to get a flag in that situation when the DB's playing receiver, press on the receiver on the edge on a play like that. But he did a good job of keeping separation and getting his arm in and knocking the ball away from the Garner Trojan.
You see Thurman Leach, Garner's head coach there with the two-tone hat on, shouting instructions at his offense on 3rd down and 13 from their own 40-yard line. Hudson to pass. Swing pass to Britton. That's dropped. They say incomplete, and that's a 4th down situation for Garner. And the Trojans, after picking up a 1st down, will have to punt it away to the Knightdale offense.
Well, if you're in the Knights, you got to be feeling pretty good right now about getting off the field and that quick against such an explosive offense that scores a lot of points and grows. And now you get a chance to get the ball at pretty good field position and get your offense on the field and see if you can make something happen.
Robert McLam fields the low snap and just gets it away. It'll hit, take a checkup bounce, and be downed at the 36-yard line. So Knightdale's defense holds. We'll see if Garner can do the same as Knightdale comes out onto the field. You see Thurman Leach in his first season at Garner. Spent 20 some odd years, is in his 23rd season at the school, was a defensive coordinator the last several years, had an outstanding playing career at Quay High School for Graham Myrick. Also played at Gardner Webb, was an honorable mention All-American his senior year at Gardner Webb, and his career cut short because of a knee injury, but has done a heck of a job. Garner has not missed a beat this year as he's in year number 1 at Garner. Knightdale from a pistol look as they send a man in motion. It'll be a handoff up the middle and a big burst of speed for Knightdale. Big play for the Knights, and this one's going to go for 6. Touchdown, Knightdale.
Right off the bat, Knightdale comes out. Nothing major, just a basic handoff up the middle, and they take it to the house. Reminiscent of how the game started last year in Garner when they started out with Marcavius Johnson with the initial carry, taking it to the house. So Knightdale has to be excited about this. Their fans are excited. They have to feel good about getting an opening score. But I know their coaches probably remind them right now, hey guys, we did this before, and we allowed a team to, and we didn't score again after that. So we got to do our better job of making sure we make things happen.
Nate Harvey with his 9th rushing score of the year. And now Nick Pope, who's only missed 1 extra point this year, drills it through. And we've played almost 2 minutes of football here at Knightdale High School, and Knightdale leads 7-0.
Yeah, explosive plays are difference makers in games like this. And when you've got two teams that are explosive as these two teams are, you can see what can happen. And here, nothing but a simple zone read, and he cut it back against the grain. Nice little block by the tight end on the backside, making sure they didn't get a penetration. And then it's a foot race, and he's not going to lose many foot races. You can see the excitement as he takes it in the end zone. Here you see the counterback. He cuts it back. Nice little kick out block right there. And then it's off to the races. And he does a good job of running his lane and getting separation. And when it comes down to a linebacker chasing a running back from behind or a safety chasing a running back from behind, most of the time they're not going to be able to get there. And you can see the block downfield by the receiver as well. Everybody's participating in on this. And Knightdale's riled up, and this is a big game. Like we mentioned, this is a big game. They understand the implications of taking on a team like Garner, and they know that Garner can score in bunches, so they got to capitalize every chance they get. And right away they collect right off the bat.
Knightdale averages 227 yards on the ground coming into play tonight, an offense that puts up around 300 yards a game. Conversely, Garner's offense averaging right around 500 yards a game, 300 yards on the ground. So don't expect a lot of passes in this game tonight.
No, not a lot of passing unless situation calls for it. But Garner makes up for it with explosive plays on offense.
Nick Pope to kick it away. It's a short kickoff again. It'll be Britton from the 25, needing a find a lane. He does, and stumbles his way up to the 38-yard line. So again, Garner has decent starting field position from their own 38, looking to capitalize on a drive that showed some promise in their previous attempt.
Yeah, a couple of good plays off the bat. A really good completion, and then they went backwards a little bit because of Knightdale's defense. So it'll be interesting to see what adjustments they make now and how they attack this defense.
Bryton Hudson, the Garner quarterback, an all-state pitcher in baseball, went 9-0 and led the Trojans to a third-round appearance. A loss to Richmond County. Has been great through the year the last 2 weeks, 76% through the year, been 16 for 21, so he's finding his groove late in the season. A handoff to Hines. He's bottled up in the backfield, and not a whole lot doing for Hines as the Knightdale defense was waiting on.
Yeah, good job by the defense right there. And, you talk about a quarterback that's had some success. Bryton Hudson has done well. He stepped in and filled in for Jefferson. He's been a good ball player. He's been consistent, and he's been exactly what they needed. Here you take a look at the defense and the penetration that they're getting on the inside. And, Knightdale is coming with it. They're staying in their gaps. They're staying in their lanes, but they're pressing forward. And Garner's going to have to be able to open this up a little bit. And a lot of pressure is going to be on Hudson to be able to get completions down the field.
He's looking for Terry Whitehead. That ball was tipped and incomplete. Whitehead had a lane on that far side, but nice defensive coverage there by Knightdale. And Garner facing another third down and long. It'll be 3rd and 11 now.
Yeah, and he's going to have to be the man to change the dynamics of this. And Knightdale's going to load the box and going to try to take that run game away and see if Garner can beat him with the pass. And if they can, they'll live with that.
3rd down and 11, the second 3rd and long for this Garner offense tonight, as Knightdale maybe a chance to pin their ears back. We'll see. Look like they're going to maybe come with some pressure. Empty backfield. Malone coming on the blitz. Little short pass that's caught by Garner and then hit immediately by Donovan Kearney as the pass was complete to Jaquan Harris, but not much doing there for Harris. And 4th down, this Garner offense goes 3 and out and trying to run some personnel onto the field quickly.
Too much team speed for plays like that. When plays that take that long to develop and guys to recognize where people are, Knightdale runs a little bit too well for them to run plays like that, so they're going to have to mix it up a little bit.
Good punt this time from Robert McLam. It'll hit out of bounds, and Knightdale will start from around the 35-yard line, already up 7-0 and looking to add on. Okay, Joe, you've seen 3 offensive series so far. What are your thoughts in the first 4 minutes of this game?
Well, we haven't seen a lot from Knightdale, so we don't know what we're going to get. We saw an explosive play that went for a touchdown, so that means a lot. I think that they're stacking the box against Garner and not allowing the running game to beat them. They're going to make them beat them with the pass, and unless Garner proves they can, it's going to be a long night or an interesting night for those Garner running backs.
So Knightdale from their own 35-yard line, already up 7-0. And so far, 1 play, 1 touchdown for Nate Harvey. We'll see what the Knights do here, working from the pistol again. It's Marquavius Johnson, the senior, who does everything for Knightdale. He'll hand it away, and Harvey trying the right side. Not a whole lot there this time as the Garner defense ready for that play. And you know what? It worked one time. Why not run it again?
Yeah, just set in the box, a little downhill run, a little belly on the right side, just to see what's happening. And he's got to remember every play's not going to be a home run. Sometimes you just got to stick your head down and get those tough yards.
No gain on the play. It's 2nd and 10. The Garner student section, the Blue Crew as they call themselves, making noise on that far side. You see Marquavius Johnson has rushed for 7 scores, passed for 8. And is heading to East Carolina. They'll hand it away. Harvey again right up the middle. And again, Garner's defense was waiting on him. Nice job there by Jathan Dunston, the outside linebacker, a 5'9" junior, to come up and make the stop. And 3rd down and 9 coming up for Knightdale.
Yeah, Johnston and Remy got in together and made a sweet play right there. And you can see the plugging. All the linebackers are in their gaps, and a good job by the defensive line of holding and containing their gap and having gap control and allowing that to happen.
First pass for Knightdale, a swing pass, ball caught on the near side, and a 1st down for Knightdale as this one goes across the 40-yard line as it's hauled in by the Knights. A look at Robert Cincinnati. Pass was complete to Marcel Johnson, by the way. First catch for Johnson. And Knightdale moves the sticks, gets just enough. But here's a look at the replay.
Yeah, nothing major, just a little bit of a out route with a little, and then the running back sitting the back out in the flats, and they do a good job of completing it. Good job of the receiver of not getting a block in the back on that play as well. But speaking of the coach, man, he was jacked up before the game. I thought he was going to tackle us when we were talking to him. He had that intense look in his eye.
Yeah, he was locked in for sure. This is Marcel Johnson, the brother of Marquavius, trying to find an edge. And boy, did he ever, down the sideline, and a big play for Knightdale into Garner territory.
Now that's team speed right there. He got the corner and he accelerated. The excitement was in the air. He can feel it. He's a little jacked up, but this kid can run the rock as well. He's a good ball player.
Yeah, entered play tonight with 197 rushing yards.
Yeah, nothing but a little handoff sweep. Not a jet sweep, but a handoff sweep. And he gets the edge, and then he does it on his own. He stiff arms one, and then he just accelerates away from the rest.
Some miscommunication here as Marquavius Johnson will keep it. Needing a block, trying to get to the edge, and he's finally pushed out of bounds by Marcus Mosley, a 5'11" strong safety. Not a whole lot of running there for Marquavius Johnson, but a nice job to get something out of nothing. And there's Robert Cincinnati. He's jacked up. He's fired up for this game. And here's a look at the
and he got to the edge, and I think they might have been even called a late hit as he was hit out of bounds. But here you see him getting to the edge, and when he gets to the edge, you can see his speed. And there you see the late hit on him out of bounds. So maybe that's what the flag is for.
Yeah, the official calling a personal foul on Garner, and that'll be marked off, I think, Joe, half the distance to the goal. And that'll give Knightdale great field position here as this drive continues. Be first and goal to go for Knightdale, already up 7-0. We've played almost half of the first quarter. Robertson Sinney directing his troops, and he's had a heck of a career in Virginia before coming down to North Carolina. Sinney won a couple of state championships in Virginia at the 2A level in 03 and 04. Has the Knights right there on the precipice of a conference championship this year as Nate Harvey doesn't find much up the middle.
Yeah, and that Garner defense is stiffening up a little bit, and they need to. They've given up a couple of plays that they probably don't intend to give up, but they're probably a little bit anxious too, and probably overrunning some assignments. But expect them to settle down and the intensity to pick up on that side of the ball.
Second and goal for Knightdale. 7 minutes to play, opening quarter. Johnson running far side, has a lane. He'll dance into the end zone. The 8th rushing score for Marquavius Johnson, and Knightdale has 2 possessions and 2 scores.
Yeah, right away. They don't have it showing any. They're not showing any signs of jitters. They look like they're excited and they're playing fun. And when you watch a team play fun, you've got to watch out because they look like they're confident and they feel like this is theirs.
So a rushing score for Marquavius Johnson. So Knightdale has a big play for a score, Joe, and now sustains a drive, puts some pieces together, and scores again to go up 13-0. With the extra point on the way and good.
Yeah, and that's 2 big plays, 2 big drives for them, and one was a quick play and that one was a sustained drive, and even when they had broken plays, they were able to get positives out of it. So Garner's going to go back to the drawing board right now and figure out a way to make a few adjustments. The Garner team comes in a little bit bitter because they feel like people have been writing them off a little bit this week because of Knightdale being seated a little higher, but right now this Knightdale team is looking good, and you look at Marquavius right there. He turned the corner and he had to weave a little bit in traffic, but here he follows his blocking. But look at the penetration and the way the offensive line are moving those Garner defensive linemen out of the hole. They're 5 yards down the field. You look at the combination block right here, and then the backside block on the backer, and then you look up and everybody's got a hat on somebody. And when that's happening, it's going to be a long night for you defensively. Those guys have got to get off those blocks and make plays.
Joe, I think you could have run through that hole.
Yeah, and I'm slow and old. I'm washed up, man, but I could have made that one.
So a 14-0 lead for Knightdale. We'll see what the Garner offense does here as they're down by a couple of scores and really have put some things together, but the drives have stalled. Knightdale's done a nice job so far thwarting that Garner running attack.
Yeah, and you could tell they're making a concentrated effort. They're going to try to take Garner's strength away, and Garner's going to have to capitalize and utilize some other things. So we'll see. The perception of this week is, that you got 2 athletes on the field. Who else is going to step up? Well, we've seen somebody step up for Knightdale. Who else is going to step up and help this Garner team out?
They kick it deep this time, and a nice return by the Trojans. This out across the 30-yard line. It's Jermaine Royster out to the 31, so Garner will try to put something together again. And, nice adjustment there by both of those teams. You move Hines up to try and field the short quick kick. Knightdale recognizes that, Joe, and kicks it deep to Royster.
Well, it's always a chess match, and sometimes you want to get your guy the ball and get him going a little bit. And we've seen him start slow in games. We saw it earlier in the year in the Middle Creek, but then all it took was one return, and then the light came on for him, and he could be a one-man band or he can be a big band.
And a flag coming from the referee. So moving on the offensive line, I think Hines might have flinched a little bit early, and that'll back the Trojans up 5 yards. Garner's been penalized an average of 71 yards a game this year. And Thurman Leach looking on, trying to implore his offense to move the chains. In his first year as a Garner head coach, been to 6 regional finals and coached in 3 state championships. Can't argue with that pedigree.
Nah, they've done it all. And when you think Garner football, you think excellence.
Little handoff up the middle to Tyrese Taylor, the fullback, with his 48th carry of the year. Just a little fullback dive there, Joe, and he'll get the penalty yards back and a couple of more and bring up 2nd down and about 7 or 8 to go.
Probably the most overlooked play in football, the fullback dive, but every team that runs it and runs it well gets positive yards out of it because it happens so quick. It's a quick burst, and it doesn't take but just a little bit of movement to make it a successful play.
2nd down and medium for Garner. They fake the sweep and run it with Taylor again. He's swarmed by the Knightdale front 3 or 4, a host of Knights in there to make the tackle, and 3rd down and long coming up again for Garner.
Instead of the dive, they went with the fullback belly that time, and it takes a little longer to develop, and it's not as quick a bursting play. And here you see the fake toss and the burst, but then even then, Knightdale's making pursuit that way, and they've got everybody and their mom making the play on defense right there.
Nothing gained. They give him a yard officially. 3rd and 6, 5:44 to go, opening quarter. Hudson, play fake. Little dump pass for Hines. Ball is caught, tries to slip by one man. He does, keeps the legs turning, and gets a 1st down for Garner.
Yeah, good job of getting Harris the ball out on the edge and allowing him to make a good play. And, mixing it up a little bit. That's what Garner's got to do. We talk about other people stepping up. They're trying to mix it up and get some other people involved. And that's a smart move right here. You get the fake to Hines, and he raises up and throws the little flanker screen or the little outside screen to the receiver and gets him the ball, and he does the rest.
29th catch of the year for Jaquan Harris. Knightdale with some moving up front. Garner will hand it away to Nyheim Hines. He's trying to find a gap to run through, crosses midfield and down to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, that's what it's going to take more from Hines, too, and I wanted to see how he would respond. He can't look to hit the home run every time. Sometimes you just got to stick it in there and mix it up, and he does a good job of getting behind his fullback. Now you see him get behind his pads and get real small and make himself strong, and you see he's carrying guys, and that's what college coaches want to see when they're looking at this kid. Can he get the tough yards when there's not a lot there?
Another handoff to the fullback, and Taylor pushing across and gets the 1st down across the 45-yard line. So a nice drive being put together here by Garner as they march into Knightdale territory. Jaquan Harris on the carry that time for Garner.
Yeah, they're mixing it up, and I like it. I like to see the versatility of their offense, and that's one of the things I told you when I used to watch them last year when you were doing radio with them, that I like this team because they kept it fundamental. They didn't run a whole lot of plays, but what they did well.
Harris again. Got into the secondary. A nice hit made there by the second line of defense. A couple of Knightdale players in there on the stop. Marcel Johnson made the initial hit. He's an outside linebacker, but a nice run for Harris again.
Yeah, and they put a quicker back in and trying to hit that same dive, and now instead of 5 yards, it turns into 8 yards, and that's a big difference for them.
Dangerous backfield there with Harris and Hines both lining up. They run it with Hines this time, and he's tripped up by Chris Malone. And what I've noticed from Knightdale, Joe, is they're bringing a lot of guys into the box and trying to thwart this Garner running attack.
Well, they're playing a basic 4-4 defense, and they're trying to load the box, and which is what you do against teams that run. And you get the extra guy in, and you say, we can cover outside one-on-one. Well, they know it's man-to-man because every time they send somebody in motion, somebody's running with them. So they're basically just playing man-to-man on the outside, and they're locking up, and they're just trying to make sure they can stop the run.
Knightdale fans wanting defense here on 3rd and 2. Toss to Hines, cuts it up, has the 1st down, and a whole lot more. Hines into the secondary before Chris Malone brings him down to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, and that's a special run by Hines right there. Good job of blocking on the outside by both the receivers and the tight end, but a great job of Hines of making people miss and accelerating out of the cut. Here you catch a replay out of the cut, and you can see him going left, put that foot in the ground, and he doesn't keep his feet in the ground long. He's got that knees up and driving forward. As a former college coach, when you see that, you know that the kid is college ready.
And just a junior, has another year to grow, too. He's going to be scary this time next year. Sims in motion for Garner as Jaquan Harris gets the carry and gets down to the 15-yard line. He's wrapped up there by big number 32 for Knightdale, Donovan Kearney, who's been everywhere for the Knights in the first part of this opening quarter.
He has. He's done a lot of things, and you see Garner mixing it up a little bit, fullback dives, a little bit of counter, leads with the back, not a lot of tosses, which has kind of been a staple the last couple of weeks, but they're mixing it up, and, the Knightdale defense is on his heels right now, and we'll see how it responds.
2nd and 7 for Garner. It's Harris, who spun down at the 15-yard line. Not a whole lot of running room there. Tried to make something out of nothing when the Knightdale defense was ready as Marcel Johnson made the initial hit. Jake the Shields also in there for Knightdale as well.
Yeah, and Kearney gets a piece as well, and you can see everybody's getting in and getting off. The difference is they're getting off their blocks. They're not staying blocked, and that's a big difference. And if Garner's going to have to take note of that when they're on defense as well and get off those blocks and make plays.
3rd down for Garner. It's Hines again trying to bob and weave. A flag comes in. He'll be short of the 1st down. Well, let's wait and see what the flag is. Maybe a face mask or a hold, Joe?
Yeah, I think it may have been holding, but as the way Hines is moving back and forth, you can wonder if it might have even got a piece of his face mask or something.
Well, wait for our officiating crew to tell us they're going to mark off the penalty. It's going to be a face mask caught on Knightdale, and that's just the 5-yard variety. So I think we're going to add that on and should give Garner good enough for a first down, I believe, Joe. We're very, very close.
Yeah, good job of running by Hines, though, refusing to be tackled in the hole, making people miss, and utilizing his assets, which is speed and quickness.
It is going to be a first down for Garner, so it's first and goal for Garner from about the 7-yard line, trying to cut into this Knightdale lead with 2.5 to go in the opening quarter. Knightdale fans trying to implore the defense. Garner doing the same for this offense. Hudson with a handoff to Hines, spinning off a man and scores. Nyheim Hines, his 32nd rushing score of the year, and pulls Garner back to within another score.
And that's just a great player being special and a good job of the team stepping up. And we talked about who was going to step up to help out and free Hines up a little bit. And Jaquan Harris was that guy who stepped up and made a difference. And that's what they're going to need more of tonight, more guys stepping up so that lanes can open up so their big guy can be special.
Robert McLam on for the extra point try. And he misses it wide to the left. Well, that may prove to be a point we come back to as the game progresses. So Garner misses the extra point. 2:25 left. It's 14-6. Knightdale has the lead, and Hines dotted the Trojan eye there and dots the drive for the Trojans as well.
Yeah, he's that guy, and he is their guy, and he makes a difference. And here you can see he gets the toss to the left. One runs through a tackle and then spins off another one and then lays out forward to the end zone. And here it is coming in your living room. You can see that they had clean shots at him, but he's elusive. He's dynamic. He's probably one of the better running backs in the state.
He's got offers from every BCS school in North Carolina. We'll run down his offers from Akron, Clemson, Duke, East Carolina, North Carolina State, and Utah. And Joey's just a junior.
Yeah, that's big. And, it says a lot about the talent and the amount of work that this young man has put in. And, he is a big key to what they do offensively, but he's only going to be as good as everybody else is around him.
Been fortunate he's had a lot of good players around him in the last couple of years as well.
Well, you don't win that many conference championships and not have good players.
So McLam to kick it off for the first time tonight. Marquavius Johnson is back deep along with Lamont Chaney. We imagine Garner will kick it short. They do. A fair catch called for on the sideline and made at about the 26-yard line. So Knightdale starts first and 10 from around their own 26-yard line as Chaney ran up, made the fair catch. And we'll see what Knightdale does here, Joe, and if they can put more points on the board.
Yeah, it's going to be key that they keep putting points on the board because we know Garner's going to keep scoring. That's what they do. They put a lot of points on the board. They get a lot of yards. So it's going to be up to Knightdale to keep pace. Even though they got the lead right now, they can't be complacent. They got to stay aggressive and continue to put points on the board.
Coach Cincinnati told us before the game there's been a lot of distractions for this Knightdale program this week. We mentioned the pep rally before school that was won during their fourth block of their last classes today. And I can imagine a lot of people wanting to get close to this Knightdale program this year as flags fly in before the play begins. And we've got a sideline warning called against Garner. No yardage marked off there, just a warning. If it becomes another flag, then they'll mark off some yardage, but no harm, no foul right now.
Yeah, that's just a warning. Let them know they need to back up. And, a lot of the times the guys are getting close to the action because they're a little excited because they scored. And you see that it's pretty routine in high school football.
Hand off to Harvey up the middle, and not a whole lot doing there. Spins his way forward for 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, he looked like he was dead to rights when he first got hit, but he kept those legs a-pumping and was able to move the pile for about 3 yards.
Tyler Garner front four there to make the stop. This is, we talked about fundamentals, Joe. Not much has changed in this Garner defense. Still running that basic 4-3 defense. What's the old saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Uh-oh.
Harvey again to the outside, dragging him in with him, and has a first down up near across the 45-yard line as Garner had guys hanging on for dear life, but a first down for Knightdale.
Yeah, Tyrese Taylor better bring his wallet to the party because he keep taking those cab rides like that. It's going to be a long night. He's going to run out of money, but a good job by Nate Harvey of just pumping those legs and getting positive yards, and you got to like that. You like to see your backs be able to get in the hole and break a few tackles, and a good execution of blocking right there. You can see the receiver down the field getting a little pancake. You can sprinkle a little syrup on his man. He got him. And that's what it takes. Everybody's got to do their part for it to happen.
Final 100 seconds of the opening quarter. Delayed handoff as that took a little while to develop, and Garner able to get in the backfield and sack Marquavius Johnson.
Yeah, the mesh wasn't as good on that play as it's been in the past, and it took its toll on Marquavius. Was smart enough not to hand it off because it was going to be a negative play. He got up inside and got a few positive yards on the play.
Second down, we're caught about 10 to go. Raquan Britton made a stop there for Garner. Knightdale up 14-7 and looking for more as Daquan Lilly comes to the Knightdale sideline. Knights are out checking their wristband and waiting for the call from the offensive coordinator. Final minute of the opening stanza. They shift Marcel Johnson. It's a handoff to Lilly right up the gut. Now tries to bounce it outside. Garner's ready and pushes him back for a gain of maybe a yard.
Yeah, good job by the Garner defense of hanging on and keeping gap control. And the linebacker fielded well. The defensive end was able to get enough squeeze to keep him from getting outside and allow penetration from the rest of the guys and allow pursuit to get there and slow him down.
Big third down coming up for both sides here. Third down, about 8 to go. Final half minute of the opening quarter. And before the play can begin, timeout spotted, I think. No, we're going to get a sideline warning on Knightdale.
Yeah, and it's fair game. Both sides being called for it, and it's letting them know the officials got to need more room to run up and down those edges, and there's not a lot of room between the sideline and the track anyway, so they're going to need those guys to stay back as far as they can so they can make it happen.
I think they want to put some more time back on the clock. I think I saw the official signal maybe 27.
It should be around 27 to 28 seconds, maybe 29.
I don't say 29. Okay. We were both wrong.
Yeah, I know it was 32 when they were starting the sequence, so I was wondering.
Clock starts again. Third down and 8 for Knightdale. Garner maybe showing blitz. It'll be Johnson to pass for the first time tonight. Got a man out there. It's Lamont Cheney who makes the catch for a first down.
My goodness, what a ball by Johnson. We talk about him as a runner. Underrated a little bit as a passer. He's not going to wow you with a lot of throws, but that one right there was money. Here he takes his steps. He reads it well. He waits for him to break out of the cut on the flag route or the corner route, and he drops a little teardrop right into his arms on the sidelines, and a great catch by the receiver. Good concentration all the way throughout the play by Cheney.
Great look by our crew as well. That's why they're the best in the business. Handoff this time. It's Marcel Johnson. He'll try to bounce it outside. Couple of arm tackles, first down and more for Marcel Johnson. Wrestled down at the 3-yard line. So from third down and 8 to first and goal for Knightdale in the blink of an eye.
2 plays, and that's what athletes will do for you, and he's an athlete. That time he got a little on the edge. He gets the ball on the handoff, and right here he looks like he's dead to right. But what he does is he freezes the DB, and when he gets even, you're not going to catch him. It's a foot race, and he's going to win that every time.
First and goal for Knightdale from the pistol formation. It's Nate Harvey up the middle. He's had it faked. It's Marquavius Johnson who will keep it, and he'll score for the second time tonight and give Knightdale a 20-6 lead with the extra point pending.
I tell you what, Johnson better go speak to all those boys and tell them thank you very much, because they keep getting it in the red zone, and then he takes over when they get down there, and he's doing his part. This kid is electric, and you can see why, schools are coveting him as well in a lot of different positions. I looked at him on the field, and I told you, I was impressed when I saw him up close. He looks like a legitimate Division I football player body-wise. Probably can play some receiver or even some running back if he wants to in college.
Yes, committed to East Carolina as the extra point by Pope is good. Reading online this week, some of the folks at East Carolina saying maybe going to be using him as a receiver or maybe a running back as well, but imagine he's going to run track as well. He's part of this Knightdale track team that has won 3 straight state championships.
Yeah, I saw their 4x1 times and how fast they were last year for a high school team, and we could see some of that team speed on the field in pregame. I saw a couple of guys that were just so explosive when they were making throws. I was sure they were overthrown. Here, good fake on the inside, and the Garner defense bites on it. Then Johnson does a good job of getting to the edge and elevating and finding that end zone, and that's just an athlete being special. Here it is coming at you, looking at it from the back, and you can see all the blocks and the way the fake drew everybody into the middle of the field and allowed that opening to happen. And when you got a special athlete who can make plays and get to the edge, and then you'll see him diving into your living room right now. Good job and good effort, and an all-around effort by that Knightdale offensive line and the running backs.
You mentioned that 4x1 time last year, Joe. 3 minutes and 12 seconds, 87 100ths to the second. Broken all classification state record that was held by Hillside since 1987. So doing some impressive things on the football field, on the track is Marquavius Johnson.
Yeah, it's everything they do around here, has been built up over the last couple of years. Last year, they were rolling, and they rolled into Garner, and they got punched in the mouth a little bit. And this year, they're doing the punching in the mouth so far in this game.
Final 3 seconds of the opening quarter. Garner gets the football back as Chris Clifford boots it away. It'll be fielded at the 10-yard line. Garner maybe got a chance to set up a return as this one bounced into the outside. It's David Hamilton, And Hamilton out around the 40-yard line, so good field position for Garner when they start the second quarter of play. Joe, your thoughts on the opening 12 minutes?
So far, it's been pretty much what I expected as far as defense and for Knightdale and offense as well. But Garner not letting down, and they got good field position and got a chance to get back in this thing.
All right, Joe. So Knightdale takes a 21-6 lead into the second quarter. We'll swing things back up here into the booth, and we'll be joined now by Trent Bunn, the varsity girls basketball coach at Knightdale High School. And Coach, lots of high expectations for your program coming into this season. Tell us a little bit about what your personal expectations are.
Well, I'm honored to be here with you guys tonight. One expectation I have is to be organized. Looking at y'all guys up here, like y'all got it well organized, and I just want the girls to trust the process. They'll be doing a lot of things behind the scenes, things they may not understand, but just trusting the process, and for our coaching staff to be organized, prepared, and ready to rock and roll.
And this is your first year, I believe, as the varsity girls head coach.
Correct.
So what has that adjustment period been like for you? I know the season hadn't started, about 3 or 4 weeks away.
Yeah,
so
right.
What's that adjustment been like for you?
It's kind of been a smooth transition. I'm trying to learn to tone it down a little bit. Just get ready to rock and roll. But it's been a smooth transition.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck this year.
All right, thank you.
That was Trent Bunn, the varsity girls head coach at Knightdale. And we start action back on the field with a run by Garner. Hines right up the gut. Not a whole lot of doing there, but second down and 9 coming up for the Trojans.
Right away, they come out and they try to get their playmaker involved to start the quarter. And, what better way to do it than to get him the ball and try to get him in space, and he had a little rhythm going, so they're going to try to capitalize on that.
Hines is off now. It's Raquan Britton back there to dot the I. He gets the carry, looking for some help, and he's wrestled down in the backfield. Nice open field tackle there by Jamie Brown. Joe coming up from his spot at strong safety to fling him down.
Well, when your strong safety's making plays in the backfield like that, that's a cue that, they're playing a little man-to-man, and they're not really worried about what you're going to do on the outside. And here you see him set the edge, and he comes off the corner, and most running backs would think would outrun a strong safety to the edge, but this Knightdale team has some speed on defense.
Loss of 3. It's 3rd down and 13 for Garner, so the play call probably changes here for Garner's offensive staff. Play fake. Hudson looking deep down the field for Terry Whitehead, and he overthrew him incomplete. Had a step on his man out there. Kamel Bloodworth was defending, but Hudson just couldn't quite drop it in there.
Yeah, he missed him by a little bit more than he wanted to. He probably should have given him just a little more air, especially when you got a big guy running with a little guy like that. The big guy usually can use his body and make plays. And the timing's just a little off right now for him offensively as far as passing game, but he's got to pick it up a little bit.
Robert McLam boots the kick away, and Knightdale will start from around their own 35-yard line as McLam hits it out, the official walking up the sideline. So from the 37 officially is where Knightdale starts. Glad that you've joined us on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel tonight. Chris Edwards, Joe Simmons from a chilly Knightdale High School. Boy, it feels like fall now, temperature in the 40s or 50s. Joe, I tell you what, this is football weather, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little colder than I would like when I played, but hey, I understand. I was hoping we'd get fall this year. Last year we skipped fall and went straight to winter, and so this year we're getting a little bit of fall football, and that'll be exciting. 1st and 10,
Knightdale from their own 37, looking to add on to this 21-6 lead. It's a handoff that's faked. It'll be kept by Marquavius Johnson, and he'll get maybe a yard. Nice job by the Garner front 4.
That play had confusion written all over it. Johnson faked one way and turned the other when nobody was there, and then he just took off running behind everything. And a little bit of miscue right there. You can see right here with the miscue, the running back goes one way and he goes the other. I think the running back was thinking counter to the other side, and maybe Johnson turned the wrong way. It looked like the pursuit was moving that way. It should have been handed off on the left side instead of the right.
They say no gain officially. 2nd and 10 as Coach Cincinnati checks his play sheet, and Knightdale now checks their wristbands 2 minutes into the second quarter. From the shotgun, handoff to Harvey, tries the middle, and again, the Garner front 4 waiting for him as everyone in there to make the stop. First hit made by a couple of Garner defenders, but in there again was Jathan Dunston. Also big number 50 for Garner. Daniel Kalambai was in there too.
Yeah, good job of fielding on defense, and they had everything covered, even the cutback lane, so he did what he needed to do, stick his head down and try to get positive yards. But that Garner defense is stiffening up right now, and I think they're trying to find some things to build their hat on.
Third down for Knightdale. Play fake. Johnson is flush. He's going to run out. Got some running room as he gets across midfield. Doing some shaking and baking, and he's dancing down the sideline, and he'll dance for 6. Touchdown, Knightdale.
And that's an explosive play. You looked at a situation where he was just scrambling, trying to get a few yards to make the punt a little easier, and then all of a sudden he's special, runs through a couple tackles, and he's off to the races.
Third rushing score for Marquavius Johnson tonight, and you can see why he's going to play run track in college as well, partner.
Yeah, you saw him hit that gear, and when he hit that gear, there was nothing anybody could do about it. And this kid is special. I mean, he's the type of kid you can hold your head on. You know, he's showing Hines. He's like, yeah, you're a good ball player. He said, but hey, I'm in the league with you, buddy.
Marquavius Johnson has been playing varsity football since he was a freshman here at Knightdale. The extra point is botched, and no good. Well, like just some miscommunication, maybe a bad snap as well, and Knightdale will have to settle for a 27-6 lead.
Yeah, good snap. The holder just bobbled a little bit and never got it down, and they didn't try to force it, but that's that 1 point back that Garner was chasing. So, but they need to get a few touchdowns to get back in this thing, because if Knightdale keeps scoring, it could be lights out for this Garner team.
It's been the Marquavius Johnson show so far tonight, minus that long touchdown run by Nate Harvey. Johnson has done the rest for Knightdale.
Well, he's been able to finish the drives, but this play, he was just special. He rolls out, nothing there. When he tucked it, you hear me yelling, uh-oh, right away, because I was like, I saw what could happen if he got a block. And here you see a good block and then another good block on the edge. And that's really something that, you know, I see a lot from this Knightdale team is the receivers are going out of their way to make blocks. And here, yeah, it looks like nothing, and then you get a block right here. Then you get another guy who busts his tail to get out in front of him and block right there. And if he gets a step, you can forget about it. Yeah, he's running that with no shoe on the rest of the way. And, hey, man, this is what it takes. You know, losing your shoe, he lost his shoe up here early in the tackle, and he's still able to make the play. And, you know, that's just being special. Hey, I'm faster than you with one shoe. That's what he's saying all the way down the sideline as he's taking it to the house.
So ran 51 yards with no shoe and gives Knightdale a 27-6 lead. Knights booted away again. It'll be fielded by Britton, trying to reverse fields. Got by one man, then tripped up and still on his feet. Didn't go down, but does now at the 25-yard line. If he could have got away from that leg tackle, Joe, might have been still running.
Man, that would have been another special play. And you can see the athletes that both teams have on the field. You've got to make sure you got them, or it'll turn into a big play really quick. And Garner's got a couple of those guys as well who can do the same thing. And it's just a matter of who's going to execute the best and who's going to be able to make the plays on the defensive side, which is what I was alliterating to at the beginning of the game.
You know, a lot of something that helps both these schools were the guys that play multi-sports. You know, you got guys that play football and basketball, or football and baseball, on all kinds of different things. And now Garner's going to come to the line of scrimmage running some wildcat now, as Nyheim Hines will come into the game at quarterback, trying to stimulate this Garner offense. But it helps to have guys that are involved in multiple sports, and we'll touch on that as we progress on. Britton in motion, Hines will keep it. Up the middle, trying to dance by one man, he does. Big hole for Nyheim Hines. Hines around midfield, one man to beat. It's a track meet down the sideline, and you're not going to catch Hines. Touchdown, Garner.
Yeah, nice way to come back. You know, Hines answers the bell. But yeah, you might be in my league, but I'm about to take my league to another level. And right away, he comes out, and we saw how fast, you know, Marcel Johnson is on offense. And Hines, he had a nice little pursuit on Hines, and he couldn't close the deal.
75-yard run for Hines. He scored both Garner touchdowns tonight. And now a chance for the Trojans to climb a little bit closer. Down 27-12. Do you go for two here, Joe, or just kick the extra point?
I think you kick it. I think they've already lost the point that you were chasing, and you don't know if they're going to make any more at all. Unless you just lose faith in your kicker, you've got to go for it. You've got to kick extra points and take those points when you can.
Good spot there by Braden Sims as Robin McLam drills the extra point and pulls Garner a little bit closer. Big plays we thought were going to be the story of this game coming in, and so far we've been prophetic.
Yeah, and it's been big playmakers too. And you know, we listen to everybody talk about what this game encompasses. Here, he fakes the dive and he gets outside, and you know, right away I'm thinking, okay, they're going to get him. But you know, right here when he hits the edge and he opens up, he showcases his speed. And you know, regardless of how fast you know the defensive players are, if he gets a step, you can almost forget about it. And you know, Knightdale possesses a lot of team speed, but he's the one kid on Garner's team who that doesn't really affect. And you can see the linebackers and even the running backs and receivers colliding downfield. So you can see guys still fighting hard as Garner's trying to get back in this thing.
And this one coming right into your living room.
Yeah, the Wildcat, you know, he breaks a tackle, which shows how his strength and power, and then he hits the accelerator. And when he hits the accelerator, you look how quick those legs are coming up and down. He's a special player, and you know, if Johnson has a couple more yards, maybe, but you know he doesn't, and Hines takes it to the house.
Second rushing score for Hines in the game, 32nd rushing score of the year. He was a preseason All-State selection by NCPreps.com, and you can see why he was tabbed to be the preseason conference player of the year.
Yeah, he's got all the intangibles that it takes to be successful.
Short kickoff and a fair catch called for and made by Camille Bloodworth on the sideline. So Knightdale will start from their 35 and trying to add on to this 27-13 lead.
Yeah, right away, you know, Knightdale, you know, has to gather themselves, you know, big play, offense back on the field. I know the Garner defense has got to be thinking, man, we got to go back out here again and try to stop this team. You know, it seems like they've been spending a lot of time on the field, but, you know, they got to step up to the occasion right now, and it'd be awesome if they could get the ball back and give their offense another chance. But Knightdale has something to say about that.
Knightdale checking their wristband as they look to the sideline for the play. Marquavius Johnson is kind of a do-everything guy for this Knightdale team, but he's got some nice supporting cast around him as well. And one of those guys is Nate Harvey, who gets the carry here, shaking guys off and spins for a first down.
Yeah, and Nate Harvey's not looking to hit home runs every time, but when he gets that opportunity, he makes you hold your breath, because it looks like when he looks like he's going to get in the open field, anything can happen. And here he gets the ball, nice little block by the the guard on the pull, and then he starts pulling those little DBs when they come up to make tackles. They better get a head across and make some impact, or they'll be holding on to him all night.
From the 45, some movement up front, no call, as Johnson flushed. Well, we've seen him scramble a couple of times tonight, scrambling again, and has 9, maybe 10 yards. Went down awkward on that leg, though, but appears to be okay.
Yeah, nice little spin move at the end. He went down because he didn't think he thought he might get hit, and no need to take a big hit right there, especially when you're a guy like him who they have to have on the field. Here he sets up the pass. He doesn't see anything he likes. Garner gets penetration, but there you see things that, you know, most people don't get away from a guy like Raekwon Britton on a blitz, but he has the ability to do that.
Michael Jenkins also in there on the stop, an all-conference performer last year. Play gains 10, first down for Knightdale. Man in motion, they give it to him on the end around. Woo! And a big hit in the backfield laid by Garner. David Remy with the hits.
Yeah, Remy.
Corey Aiken, sorry.
Oh, sorry, okay. Corey Aiken's nice job of getting in, and no, that was Remy.
You're right, but it made the hit on Corey Aiken.
Oh, yeah,
sorry.
nice job of bringing the wood, and Remy steps in and lowers the boom on the jet sweep, and that's one of the things about the jet sweep. If you catch it right and you catch that guy running right, he's defenseless, and there's nothing he can do. And he just laid the wood on the play that time.
Loss of 5, back to midfield. 2nd and 15 for Knightdale. Johnson to pass. Pressure coming, gonna heave it downfield. Got a man out there. Marcel Johnson.
Oh, my goodness.
Can't make the catch.
Wow. I know he's kicking himself, and I saw him make that catch about 10 times in a row in pregame as he gets separation and runs away from people. And that time he had to be thinking, I got to catch this and score, because he was a little bit underthrown. But, hey, they got it out there. He's about 20 yards past everybody when the ball's thrown. You can see it right now. They got a linebacker trying to run with him. And he gets just a little high, a little late, but that's one he's going to wish he'd caught.
A break for Garner, and now 3rd and 15 facing this Knightdale offense after the drop at the 7-yard line. We'll see what the Knights call here on 3rd down as Johnson relaying the play to his offensive mates. Everyone checks the wristband. Marcus Mosley in the Garner defense awaiting this 3rd down play. It's a pass, little slant that's overthrown, trying to hit Lamont Cheney on that slant pattern at the 40-yard line. Wouldn't have been good enough for the first down, but a nice job of this Garner defense to be like a willow tree partner and bend but not break.
Yeah, good job of the Garner defense of getting, and we talked about getting off the field this time, and this time they're able to do so. And now their special teams has an opportunity to be special. But what they can do right now is put some pressure on this Knightdale team, especially if they can get another score.
It's Nyheim Hines back deep for Garner. And Chris Clifford to punt. High snap, pulled down, and the kick almost blocked. It's a wobbler that's going to hit, take a Knightdale bounce, and I thought Hines might try to pick it up and run, but he's going to let it go dead at the 17-yard line. had a notion, that, Joe.
Yeah, good decision. If he gets the right bounce, he can try it, but otherwise, just get away from it. Don't let anything happen. You're getting the ball back, and you just scored on a big play. You know, give your offense a chance to be special again.
So Garner a chance now from the 17-yard line. Boy, a good crowd here at Knightdale. Crowd is filled in nicely on what some are calling the biggest game in Knightdale program history.
I think you can agree with that. You know, this is an opportunity now to solidify yourself at the top of the conference. And right now, so far today, they've been up to the challenge.
Home of the Knights, packed tonight on both sides. 7:06 to play, opening half. Garner down 27-13. But Hines in there at the Wildcat position again, running the show. Little flip to Raekwon Britton. Had a burst of speed, lost the football, and Knightdale falls on it. But are they going to call him down?
Yeah, I think the ground caused the fumble. He had the ball. He hit the ground, and the ball popped out. But he was down by contact. But good job by Knightdale of closing the gap on the jet sweep.
But Garner's got speed at every angle, and we'll look and see if this actually was a fumble, Joe.
Yeah, you can see the run here, and when he gets to the edge, he gets hit, and then the ball.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah, that was close.
That was close. Closer than I thought to my naked eye.
Yeah.
So maybe a break for Garner as they pick up about 3 yards there. 2nd and 7. Hines still in the game at quarterback. They'll fake the handoff and keep him himself, and Hines trying the far sideline, gets close to the first down marker and might have enough to move the 6. I think he does before he's brought down by Chris Malone.
Yeah, I think they're going to take that part of the equation out with the quarterback now and let Hines just be the dictator of the offense. And if he's the focal point, he becomes a lot like Johnson, where you got to account for all the other intangibles around him before he gets the ball. When he's just in the backfield by himself, you can just kind of lock in on where he's at and not really account for those things if you don't think the other players can step into that role. And right now, he's been a difference maker by moving to the quarterback position.
Well, he can throw it. He's 3 for 5 through the air this year. Going to run it this time, though, dragging men with him up across the 35-yard line and gets 6 or 7 yards there. So if you can get 6 or 7 yards on first down with Coach Leach, we'll be thrilled as the night progresses.
Yeah, nice job by Chris Malone of running the hump and trying to catch him on the backside and slowing him down. Otherwise, he probably gets about 12 yards on that play. Here you can see him moving out. We got a little student body left, and Malone does a good job of running it down from the back because all the guys in the front are being blocked.
Some of the Garner students trying to support the cause.
Yeah, they got the hard hats on, letting you know they came to work.
And that's what Garner's offense is year in, year out, workmanlike. As Hines got by one man, but couldn't get by another and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Might have actually lost a yard. Nice job there by Knightdale to come up and make the stop. It was Jake DeShields, the inside linebacker, on the initial hit. Yeah,
you can see that the pursuit of this Knightdale defense is quick. And, you know, unless Hines gets a clear lane, he's almost always going to have to make somebody miss.
3rd down for Garner. 3rd and 4. Knightdale students make some noise, hoping to get this defense off the field. Britton in motion. Hines has a snap, play fake, running behind Britton, loses the football, and Knightdale's got it at the 45-yard line. It's picked up by Kamel Bloodworth, and that might be another turning point in this contest.
Now that's big because Garner was probably going to get the first down or be really close to it when Hines made the turn, and having that ball come out, and a good job by Knightdale of stepping up to the occasion, and now their offense has an opportunity to make some noise. Here you see Hines coming back with a little student body left, and a nice job of getting the hat on the football right there. That's a real good hit. And regardless of high and tight or however you're carrying it, when you can get the helmet on the football like that, 9 times out of 10, it's coming out.
Turnover battle going to be a key point here tonight. Knightdale scores the first points there, forcing the first turnover of the evening. And now a great field position for the Knightdale offense as they hand it away to Harvey, and he's not going to get anything. He is wrapped up and dropped in the backfield, had his forward progress stopped, and a nice job by Tyrese Taylor and Raekwon Britton to converge and make the hit there, Joe.
Yeah, filling in and filling the gaps as the handoff comes, and this is probably one that Johnson should have pulled, as Garner had that one sniffed out, and they were just reading their keys and stepping up. When the guard blocks down, the linebacker's supposed to step in and fill, and that's exactly what happened.
4-yard loss as we tick under the 4-minute mark of the opening half. It's 2nd and 14 or 13. Check that for Knightdale. Hand off to Marcel Johnson. Made one man miss, but it's hit at the 50-yard line. Maybe the ball came loose again, but I think he got it back. If it did come loose, it's a loss of another yard or two, and now 3rd down and very, very long for Knightdale.
Nice job by Samuel Stidwell of setting the edge that time and not letting the sweep get outside. He basically took it away, and even though they did get the block on him, because he got upfield and pressed in, he made the back cut in before he wanted to. We've been seeing him get that edge and outrun people all day. He didn't have an opportunity to do it that time.
3rd down, 15 for Knightdale. Ball right around midfield. They've got to get down to the 35-yard line to move the sticks.
Yeah, you can almost expect a fade on this one. You know, they've been having success with the deep ball. I don't think you'll see anything any different on this play.
From the pistol. Pressure coming. Johnson heaves it downfield. Ball underthrown a bit, bobbled, and
my goodness!
Touchdown! He dropped it. Oh my!
Wow, he had every opportunity in the world to make that catch, and he didn't make it.
Almost a spectacular play by Daquan Lilly, but he bobbled it, it pinballed it around, and he dropped it.
That could have been a Sports Center top 10 if he makes that catch that time. Wow. I mean, everything in the world could happen. Quarterback does a good job of giving him a chance by giving him air, and the DB jumps a little early, and he hits him in the shoulder pads, and right here he's got every opportunity in the world. And right there I thought he was going to corral it. He looked it in, it just didn't happen. And that's 2 plays on passing game that it could change the complexity of this game, because that's 2 big-time drops that could make a difference.
And possibly 2 touchdown passes that come off the board. Nick Pope gets the kick away. Hines was back deep for Garner, not going to get a chance to return this one as the ball bounces out of bounds around the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and you see the excitement of the Knightdale team, and that's a case of maybe a little bit of jitter, but that's just a play. I mean, we've all been in that situation as athletes where you just can't get it right on the play, and that time he did everything you could do. He tipped it to himself a couple of times, and then he actually looked it in. His eyes and everything are exactly where you want him to be as a coach, and it just didn't happen.
So Garner from the 26 officially, Knightdale students, the Knightdale Crazies, all donning their pink in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Night. And really the school has gone all out with that. Hudson back in the game at quarterback for Garner. Trojans working from the eye. It'll be a double reverse. Hudson hit as he throws. Got Braden Sims out there, and he can't haul it in.
Yeah, good defense by Knightdale. They didn't bite on any of that, and they locked in on their men and almost got a sack on the play.
Nice defensive coverage there by Camille Bloodworth. Also Justin Blango around there providing coverage on Sims. And we'll get a look at Hudson getting hit here, Joe.
Yeah, he showcases the fake a couple of times, and then he lets it go, and he throws a pretty good ball. But, you know, a good job by Knightdale of being in the right place at the right time and not conceding to the big play.
So Hudson is out now as Hines comes in to run the Wildcat. He'll keep it and get maybe a yard. 3rd down and 9 forthcoming for Garner.
Well, you got to suspect Knightdale's making an adjustment to how they're going to deal with Hines and this Wildcat, and they're probably going to change their defensive philosophy up a little bit and try to squeeze and press a little bit and keep him from being able to get big holes in the gap, big runs in the gaps. And it'll be up to them to run a few jet sweeps or something to loosen that up a little bit.
Knightdale by 14, 2:09 to play, opening half. And a big 3rd down here. It's 3rd and 10 from Garner's 25-yard line. Britton in motion. Hines will throw. Hit as he throws. Lobs one out there into triple coverage. I think he was trying to hit Terry Whitehead, but it's 4th down for Garner. And the Trojan offense goes 3 and out again.
Yeah, that's a case where, you know, you got your best player standing out there making throws, standing in the pocket, and he takes a shot on that play. And if I'm the coach, I'm holding my breath and asking myself, you know, maybe we should let somebody else make this throw next time.
It'll be Robert McLam into punt, gets a good snap, and gets off a pretty good kick. Marquavius Johnson was back deep for Knightdale, and the Trojans down it right around the 45-yard line. So Knightdale, 108 seconds, all 3 timeouts, Joe, and a chance to add on to this 14-point lead.
Yeah, I think, you know, we'll probably get a little bit of activity up front on the first play, maybe a run, and then you got to think, they got to be thinking, we got them deep anytime we want them. They're getting behind Garner on defense almost every time they want to go deep. So I'm sure the Garner coaches are going to loosen those DBs up a little bit and say, hey, guys, those guys are pretty fast. Give them a little bit of a step and stay between them and the end zone. A little hitch ain't going to kill us, but we can't have them catching these deep balls.
From the 44 officially is where Knightdale goes to work. And once again working from the pistol, maybe kind of a single wing type pistol as Johnson keeps it. Trying the middle and has a big burst of speed. Marquavius Johnson for 6 more. His 4th rushing score of the night.
Yeah, this kid is special. And like I said, that what this kid can do on the football field is phenomenal. And the fact that he has the ability to make those passes and those throws makes him an even deeper threat. And all I'll say is East Carolina's getting himself a good one if he continues that commitment.
Let me tell you something. East Carolina's done a great job recruiting this area with Curtis Burston from Middle Creek and Marquavius Johnson from Knightdale. Can you imagine what those two are going to do on the same field in a couple of years?
Yeah, it'd be amazing to watch those two grow. And, it may not happen right away, but the talent that they have and the talent they bring in. We've even seen a couple of guys from Wilson Hunt early in the year. So at Fike early in the year where they were making that transition as well. And it's just a lot of talent in the area that's kind of blooming with that program, and you can see why that program is starting to take flight.
So the Knights score again, go up 34-13, and a lot of things to cheer about on that Knightdale sideline as fans run the flag after the touchdown. And now really some adjustment time for Garner, Joe, down 34-13, 96 seconds to go in the half. Maybe hoping for a score. We'll talk about that after this look at the touchdown run.
Yeah, and when he hit the crease, I didn't see anybody in the middle of the field because it looked like they were playing a little bit of deep zone, and then everybody ran out. So when he hits that seam, he's gone. And good blocking and good recognition as well. After he made the commitment to run the ball, he's looking to throw the ball, nothing there. And then look, he got a little counter block action. And then when he hits that crease, and he's not even got it going full tilt. He's just running fast enough to outrun them right now, and he's still getting separation.
Another touchdown run for Marquavius Johnson. And now if you're on that Garner sideline, Joe, what adjustments do you make at halftime?
Well, you've got to make a change on how you're defending him. You got to be hoping he starts catching cramps or something. He'll need an IV or something, all that running he's doing. But I don't think that's going to happen. But you've got to make some adjustments, and you've got to account for him. And it's hard to do because they have so many other ways to get the ball out to other people. And the fact that they've been able to beat you deep makes you have to play a little bit deeper in the secondary. So it's going to be it's interesting to see how what chances they take on stopping that Knightdale offense in the second half.
Garner gets the football. It's Jawan Grissett who will return the kick and get across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Garner offense back to work. 3 timeouts, Joe, but remember, Knightdale gets the football to start the second half, so maybe imperative that Garner put some points on the board here?
I think it is. I mean, it's not necessarily a dire need, but at some point you got to think that they would like to get some momentum going into the half, especially considering they're not going to get the ball first in the second half.
1:29 to play as Garner goes back in the eye. Look at Thurman Leach, the Trojan head coach. Tyrese Taylor, the fullback, trying to bob and weave. He'll pick a hole up around the 40-yard line, stretch across to maybe the 41. Nice run there by Taylor on first down.
Strong, grown man run right there. When you're carrying people with you the way he is, and he's built low to the ground too, a little Mike Tolbert type maybe with the ability he has. He probably could even dot the eye and play a little bit of tailback if they needed him to.
I think he played tailback for that JV team last year. Nickname on the Garner team is the Tank.
Yeah, I can see that. He rolls through you, or he rolls with him, or he rolls over you.
Toss to Hines, following his blockers, cuts it back up the middle, has a first down, and out around midfield.
Yeah, and you think, why are they running the ball? Well, that's their best weapon. Give him the ball and let him do what he does. And maybe if they're going to throw it a little bit, they spread him out a little bit or whatever. But it becomes a little bit predictable if you do it right now. So they're going to mix it up. They're going to try to get what they can get right now. If they can get 8-10 yards a clip with him running the ball, that's just as good as throwing short passes.
As you can see, Garner burns their opening timeout. 48 seconds left, ball around midfield. Is this a time where you think you can maybe start taking some shots? I know you said their running is their bread and butter, but if you're the Garner coaching staff, do you take some shots through the air, Joe?
I think they got to. I think their quarterback, has to earn his keep at this point, and you're in a 2-minute offense. Trust that he's going to make the right play, and I think that he has the ability to make the right play. It's just a matter of getting time and guys coming open in the secondary.
Knightdale 7-1, ranked pretty high in some of the local polls, as high as second in a couple of polls, ranked 5th in one. So a lot of folks around here have a lot of stock in Knightdale, and so far they're living up to the billing, up 34-13.
Yeah, they're a pretty good football team, and I can see they've got a lot of team speed, and it could be exciting at times, but I can also see that everybody's got their eye on what this team's capable of.
Hudson to pass, looking for Hines, got his man beat, makes the catch, makes a man miss, and Hines will score for Garner.
Big time play by big time player, and that time we saw Hines get separation, as I mentioned, moving him outside, letting him play receiver, but he's their go-to guy. And as much as people hate to admit it, you know, he's the engine behind this Trojan team. And moving him around and getting him the ball as many ways as you can. Yeah, you don't like to hear it, but it is what it is. This kid is special. You know, you've got to do what you can to get him as many touches as you can in the ball game.
So Hines with his 3rd total touchdown of the night, 2 rushing, now 1 receiving. The extra point is botched. Sims will have to heave it toward the end zone, and the ball is just knocked down incomplete. So a low snap there, not much Garner could do. Hudson, by the way, Joe, that touchdown pass was his 15th of the year, and we'll get a look at the touchdown strike from Hudson to Hines in just a moment. What impressed me was the way that Hines was concentrating on that play, bobbled the ball initially, and then able to haul it in. Here's the replay.
Yeah, you can see the quarterback just raises up. He's not looking at anybody but him. He already had his mind made up where he was going right away. They ran the safety off with a deep post, and then the safety tries to recover and takes a bad angle on the ball. I'm really shocked they didn't go with putting another DB over there when they saw Hines go out deep. Someone who maybe can run with him a little bit better, because he does get separation. And the pass is delivered at a good spot, and Hines does a good job of batting it to himself and bringing it in. And then after that, he just explodes and becomes the athlete that we know he is.
This one coming right into your living room.
Yeah, and this is, you know, it's not a beautiful pass, but it's efficient, and he hits him in the pads, and he does a good job. The safety just does a really bad job of coming over the top, and any mistake you make on Hines, he's going to expose him.
So Hines finds the end zone again, pulls Garner a little bit closer, and now with 38 seconds left in the opening half, if you're Garner, you can ill afford to give up a big play to Knightdale.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised to see a kick on the ground or maybe a pooch kick to one side and hope that you can get it back. But I don't think you'll see anything deep to Johnson or the other Johnson to make it happen.
Now they're going to kick it medium, and it's going to be Chris Malone from the 20-yard line trying to find a way up that sideline. Just slips and falls at the 26, but he was swarmed by Garner defenders anyway, so wasn't going to get much further. So, do you think Knightdale comes out, just takes a knee here, Joe, or do they take a shot?
I don't think they take a knee. I think they probably run a couple of plays, running the ball and see what they can get out of it. And if they can get a big play, they'll be happy with it. But I don't think they're going to put the ball. I can't see them putting the ball in the air unless they get a couple of first downs.
33 seconds left. Knightdale up 34-19. What's been a very entertaining opening half of football. Knightdale running guys on and off the field. Robert Cincinnati has to be pleased with the way his team has performed in this first half, minus a few defensive lapses.
Yeah, he's got to feel pretty good about everything, but the last touchdown has to hurt a little bit because he was in the right defense. They just took a few bad angles.
Split backs for Johnson as he works from the gun. It's Harvey following some blockers. Woo! Shaking and baking out across the 35 and close to a first down.
Yeah, good job of running the ball right there, staying behind his pads, and he got some positive yards. And
Camille Bloodworth, a nice run there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't start taking a couple timeouts and maybe utilize the clock to their advantage. And here he gets a nice job on the read, and there you see him put his foot in the ground and does a good job of cutting and protecting that football right there.
Johnson from the shotgun again is going to pass, and a heave it long for Lamont Chaney. Ball is caught, flag coming in probably for pass interference, but it'll be first and goal Knightdale from the 5 if it holds up.
Yeah, they may have an offensive pass interference. It looked like he was pushing a little bit, but you know, you never know how they're going to call it right here.
The official threw the flag immediately. And it'll come and tell the referee. We'll wait for the call. Pass interference is called on the offense, so back it up, and that's much to the dismay of the Knightdale fans here on the near sideline.
Yeah, it looked like he was just trying to get their hands off of him when he was pushing away. But anytime you extend your arms, you're going to get that call every time. You can see right away the quarterback does a good job of letting it go, and we'll get a picture right here in the picture. And you can see they're pushing on him. I don't know. That might be a little bit suspect right there. It looked like he's trying to get their hands off of him so he can get his hands in the air. But, hey, good for the Garner team. They needed a break right there because that would have been detrimental to them, being able to put some points on the board in that situation.
Kind of a contemptuous look from Robert Cincinnati as well. He was giving that official a death stare.
Yeah, he had the angle that we saw the second time, so he's probably a little bit upset about how that transpired.
Breast Cancer Awareness Night here at Knightdale. As you can see all the pink banners and clothing. Even the Knightdale midfield logo, you saw it a little bit earlier, is painted pink. They got the breast cancer ribbon on the field. They go all out.
That's awesome.
It is.
I think anytime you can bring awareness to a situation the way they're doing, I think is big for the game, big for these kids.
Knightdale just going to run it this time. This is Marcel Johnson trying to get the outside. He'll slip down at the 30-yard line.
Face mask.
Yeah, there's the flag. So I think we're going to get one on time down. The clock went to 0. So that should give Knightdale 15 extra yards, you would think, Joe. Maybe a chance for one shot.
Yeah, with the ability to make plays, you know, that's that 15 yards they just lost back plus a few.
Horse collar is the call.
You know, that could be, they may be in the range now to make that throw.
So it'll be a 15-yard penalty, and we'll get a look at the replay before we get a look at the untimed down.
Yeah, right away he got the edge, and you see his speed, and the way he went down, I was a little scared it was a good call, but I was concerned that it was a face mask the way his head came back. But he didn't really get in the shoulder pads like you would think to do it, but he did get enough of the side of the shoulder pads to make it happen.
So this is the final play of the half, barring another defensive penalty. It's one untimed down. Ball at the 46-yard line of Knightdale. And Johnson will work from the shotgun. Has the snap. Garner gets some pressure. Johnson flushed. And now in a whole heap of trouble. Just going to go down at the 45-yard line. Nice job by Kelvin Coppage, the defensive end, who makes his 11th tackle of the season to come in and hit Johnson. And in the opening half, a exciting half of football, but Knightdale takes the 34-19 lead to the locker room, Joe.
Yeah, good job, Garner, closing the half and getting himself in a position to get back in this thing. Knightdale's been explosive. I don't know if Garner can afford to give up 34 more points in the second half, though, and that defense is going to have to tighten up a little bit if they're going to make a game out of this.
All right, so Knightdale leads 34-19 at the break. We return with half number 2 right after this on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel.
Big plays, and it lived up to a billing of the guys who were making the plays. Nyheim Hines doing his thing for Garner, and Marquavius Johnson doing his thing for Knightdale. And so far, Johnson's had the upper hand because he's been able to make bigger plays on that Garner defense. But it's been exciting so far, and Knightdale has to be kicking himself. They've left a couple of touchdowns probably off the board on some drops that may end up being pretty big down the line in this game.
And chatting with Knightdale's official score at halftime, I heard him say that Garner's given up 300 yards to Knightdale just on the ground in this first half. That's more than Garner's given up in any game all year long. But it's Knightdale who gets a chance to go back to work here, and they'll start from the 20-yard line. Conversely, Garner's offense only has around 170 yards rushing in the first half, so you give credit to Knightdale's defense for stopping that Garner rushing attack.
Yeah, they've done what they needed to do, and outside of a couple of big plays running the ball, Garner has been stymied most of the night with the running game, but they've been able to get a couple of big runs. But Knightdale has to feel pretty good about where they're at and how they've performed so far. You know, I know they got to be a little disappointed that they've left a couple of big plays off the board, but other than that, they've been pretty stellar offensively.
So Knightdale's offense led by Marquavius Johnson back to work here in the third stanza, hoping to add on to this 34-19 advantage. Knights start from a pistol. That single wing pistol we're accustomed to seeing Knightdale run, and they run it up the middle with Nate Harvey, who had that opening touchdown for Knightdale in their first play from scrimmage. He'll get up to around the 24-yard line, gain a 4 yards, and bring up a 2nd and 6 for Knightdale.
Yeah, big tendency to run him left a lot tonight, and most of his big runs have come on the left side. Even if they started right, he ended up back on the left side. So that's something that Garner may have picked up on, and maybe something they're going to try to stop in the second half.
Robertson Sinney, Knightdale's head coach, looking to notch his first career victory over Garner. 21-19 is his record in his 4th year at Knightdale. 93-24 for his career. 2nd and 6 for Knightdale. They send Aiken in motion, and they'll hand it away with Harvey again. Garner ready for that one as Greg Wells made the stop. And we saw Greg Wells make some pretty big hits for Garner in our game we did against Middle Creek to start the year. But he comes up big there for Garner and brings up a 3rd down for this Knightdale offense.
Yeah, and out of the blocks, you got to feel a little tight after a cold halftime that they had, and then coming back, and here you see the handoff. It starts as a little counter on the right side coming to the left, and you know, Garner's up to the task, and their defense is fired up, and if they can get a few stops and get back in this thing, you know, it'll change the dynamics of what they can do offensively as well. They'll be able to get back to their game plan.
Jathan Dunston also in there making the stop for Garner. So now a big third down for Knightdale. We'll see if this Garner defense can get off the field. And before the play can begin, whistles and a timeout from the Knightdale sideline. Some confusion on what they wanted to run on 3rd and 7.
Well, I think they saw what defense Garner was in, and they didn't have the ability to even make a change at that point, and it was probably going to play to the strength of what the defense Garner had lined up in. So they'll probably make a few adjustments. Same formation, just something a little different out of the formation.
We talked a little bit in the first half, Joe, about Robertson City and how he inherited this program that was 1-11 and really had no football identity. And prior to the season, he said, we want to still change our identity. He's still trying to change the culture here at Knightdale. And it's gone a long way. You look at what Knightdale has here tonight, the fans, and just the product on the field. He's done a nice job changing that culture.
Well, one of the things about, schools like that have had struggles is teaching them how to win. And it's a tough transition. It's teaching kids that, to change their expectations. And, yeah, everybody says, yeah, we play to win the game. But a lot of times when you played in situations and you've had bad seasons over and over, losing kind of takes its toll on you. So he's came in and changed the culture. He's got the kids believing. He's got the community believing. And now they're making a statement. They're trying to become the new top dog in this conference, and it's just going to take a little bit of work to get there.
Back to action, 3rd down and long for Knightdale. Split backs. Johnson maybe trying to draw Garner offside, and now they'll change the play. You see Hines in there on defense at the bottom of your screen. Garner putting all their athletes on the field. Handoff is fake. Johnson will keep it right up the middle. 1st down and more. He's got one man to beat. Stiff arm and down the sideline. He's dancing to the 45-yard line of Garner. And Mark Quavius Johnson continues to do it with his legs.
Yeah, good job of adjusting, too. He looked to the right, and I think they had a fade call to the top side at the beginning, and then they checked to a little bit of a counter when they saw Hines checking the guy that they would probably want to go to. And he's an athlete right here. He's running people out of their form, and if he has 3 more yards on that sideline, he's off to the house again.
They spot the ball back at the 47 of Knightdale. So the Knights inching closer to pay dirt, 53, 54 yards away. Split backs again. We've seen Knightdale go all kinds of looks from the shotgun tonight. Garner maybe coming with some pressure as a fumble, and it's loose. Garner's got it. Raekwon Britton scoops it up for Garner. So now the Trojans have even the turnover battle and a short field to work with for Garner and a chance to climb back into this ballgame.
That's big to get your first possession in the other team's territory, and when you're chasing a lead like they're chasing and to have a ball bounce that way, it's big for the Garner Trojans, and now they have an opportunity to cut into this lead a little bit more. And, Knightdale has to be a little worried about their situation right now. And that was just a case of the back maybe having not a good relationship with the quarterback, and the quarterback trying to run a read option. It's really tough if the relationship's not right together. And that time the mesh points didn't match, and it caused a fumble.
Hines gets the carry for Garner, spinning through guys, carrying men with him, and has a 1st down. Pile keeps on moving down to the 26-yard line. What a run there by Nyheim Hines.
Yeah, and that's just him wanting it a little more than Knightdale wanting it. He's running and he's spinning off people, and he's putting his head down and keeping those legs turning. And this is the part that colleges want to see. They know he's explosive, but how does he handle this? He run after contact, and you can see those legs are moving. And he plays a lot bigger than he is. He has the ability, but he better make sure he holds on to that ball a little better, or it's going to come out.
Gets the carry again for Garner, and not a whole lot doing here down to the 23-yard line. But, you talk about that, as you were talking about that yak and really lowering your head, getting extra yardage. And that's what sets him apart from some of the other backs around in this area.
Oh, yeah, and that's what makes him special. And, there's no knocking this kid. This kid has everything that you want in a running back. He's probably not quite the size you want, but he's got another year to get that size. He's probably about 10 pounds away from ideal running back weight on the next level. So, he's one of the better backs around here, and he showcases it every night.
Garner will pass on 2nd and 8. Little fade for David Hamilton, and he just couldn't haul it in. Had his man beat on the outside, Camille Bloodworth, but just right through his hands. And now 3rd down for Garner. Not a bad idea to take a shot, though, on 2nd and 8.
Nice job. He had a nice little, what we call a bat route, where the tight end takes it up and breaks it to the edge. And he had him beat. It just was the throw was just a little bit too far and a little bit too high.
3rd down, 8 to go for Garner, and a big 3rd down early in this 3rd stanza.
Well, you got to think they're probably in 4-down territory, so they wouldn't be surprised to see a run on this play.
Little fake to the running back and hand it away to Jaquan Harris. little inside trap or maybe a little dive play, Joe. And not a whole lot doing there, but to your point, probably 4-down territory, so a couple of yard gain, and now a 4th and 5 for Garner.
Yeah, a little fake toss and run the inside slant. And what it does is you hoping they're keying on Hines enough that when you show it that way, you give it to someone else, and that offers an opportunity to get points. And that time, they utilized it to their advantage, and they were able to get a few positive yards on the play.
Garner's going to burn their first timeout here the opening half. So now each squad has burned a timeout in the first 3+ minutes of this third quarter. You know, that play that Garner just ran, the little fake to Hines, was something Garner put in after the state championship game against Greensboro Page back in 2011. Page ran that to death on Garner. Trojans were like, hey, we like that play. Let's put it in our playbook, and it's worked for Garner the last couple of years.
Well, imitation is the greatest form of flattery, and, you know, when you find something that was tough for you to defend, you spread the wealth and you make other people have to defend it. And sometimes you just put it in to see how other people defend it as well, so you can pick up on how you're going to stop it next time.
A lot of folks from Garner have made the short trip over there trying to encourage the Trojan offense as they trot back on the field. But yeah, Garner travels very well. That lady sure is fired up to try to get this offense engaged. And there's Thurman Leach in his first year coaching at Garner. Trojans sprinting to the line as fans are still waiting at the concession stand. Garner going to pass, a little pop pass to the tight end for a touchdown. It's Terry Whitehead.
Yeah, nice play designed by Garner. Everybody and their mom thought Hines was going to get the ball, so what do? They showed the ball at him, and they go up top to the tight end, and they're able to get a touchdown.
Second touchdown pass for Hudson as Whitehead hauls in his 4th touchdown grab of the year. And Garner climbing right back in this one with an extra point on the way. And maybe I think Garner going to go for 2 here, Joe, as Hudson staying on the field.
You go for 2 in this situation because it puts you in the realm of a 1-score game, and that's what they want.
It was actually Jamison Brown, I beg your pardon, who made the catch for Garner. That was his first touchdown grab of the year. And now the Trojans have to burn another timeout. That could be pivotal going forward. Just 1 timeout left for a whole quarter and some change.
Yeah, you never know when you're going to get a situation where people are lined up bad or whatever, but that's one that they probably wish they had back.
And we'll get a look at the touchdown pass again.
Yeah, here you see the fake the dive inside, and the quarterback goes up top and hits the tight end over the top, and a good job of getting him the ball. You know, he's been a little bit inaccurate with his throws today, not as accurate as we've seen as far as statistic-wise, and he does a good job of making sure he gets that one in there. He takes a little bit off the pass, too, to make it easier for his guy to make the catch.
Yeah, and apologies to Jamison Brown. Thought the 8s kind of got mixed up there, but Jamison Brown, his first touchdown grab of the season, the 6'3" junior, pulling Garner back closer to Knightdale. Timeout is over. We'll see what Garner runs here. They've only run 1 2-point conversion try this year. It was a Nyheim Hines run that they were successful on. So we'll see if Garner tries something different here, down 34-25 with 8:45 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, I suspect you're going to get a dose of Hines, and it'll probably be something going to that right side. Or maybe the left side to get him the ball in space.
Taylor and Hines are the running backs. Now Hines split out wide to the right. Hudson to pass, going to fire, and he's too tall for Raekwon Britton. A flag comes in, and pass interference will probably be the call, and Garner will get another shot.
I need to see that one again. That looked like a pretty good defensive play by the defender that time. May have been a little bit of grabbing on the interior, but looked like a pretty stellar defensive play on that play, breaking on the ball.
And we'll get a look at the replay now.
You see the quarterback sets up and throws a quick slant. Oh, my.
I think maybe the late hit, Joe.
No, they called pass interference, so it wasn't a late hit. So maybe he's tugged him from behind. Maybe we didn't get to see that angle. Looked like pretty good defense on the play to me.
So now from the 1.5-yard line, we'll see if the play call changes for Garner. That full house backfield, the Maryland eye almost, if you will, as they run a toss to Hines, bobbled it a bit, lowers his head, and does not get in.
Yeah. And that's
that bobble cost him a little bit.
Yeah, that bobble, I think he's hurt a little bit too. Looked like he stumbled a little bit when he came out of the play.
And the Knightdale player is down as well, and getting up and hobbling off the field. That's Petey Hyman, the senior outside linebacker. Dual sport athlete for Knightdale, played basketball, scored 8 points in 2 games against Garner last year.
Yeah, it looked like he might have hurt a shoulder on that play too. He's coming off kind of slow. And Hines gets the ball on the toss and puts his head down. And good job of getting contact, and yeah, he did lead with his shoulder. His shoulder's probably beat up a little bit on the play.
So that'll keep it at a 34-25, a 9-point lead for Knightdale. So you're still a 2-score game if you're the Knights as they look to add on, but Garner capitalizes off that Knightdale turnover, Joe, and maybe some worried faces a little bit for the Knightdale fans on the home side.
Yeah, I was surprised they didn't just kick the extra point and cut it to 8 and, you know, stop. You don't chase the 2 because you never know when they may miss an extra point as well. But maybe the chart said go for it in that case. I don't have a chart in front of me, but you know you're going to need a 2 at some point. I just didn't think they would go for it on that play.
So Garner ready to boot it away again with Robert McLam. Knightdale puts Marquavius Johnson back deep, although you highly doubt they're going to kick it all the way back there to Johnson. We'll wait and see what transpires. McLam marking off the steps, points to his mates, and the kick is away. It's high, end over end, and short. Fair catch called for, bobbled, and then fielded. And trying to run with it was a Knightdale player. I think that was Chris Malone. It was. Lucky he didn't get flagged for trying to move after the fair catch.
I think he was moving out of the way because they were coming at his feet, but he didn't like he was really ready to explode on the run. But yeah, we're lucky he didn't get flagged for delay a game by running with the ball.
Well, look at the replay again. You see him calling for the fair catch. He then picks it up and tries to start running.
Yeah,
very fortunate.
Yeah, very fortunate he didn't call for a delay game on that play.
1st and 10, Knightdale as they go to work from the 27. Johnson from the gun. Keeps it and bounces it outside. Got away from one man, maybe. Oh, a nice job there by grabbing the jersey by James Johnson, who grabbed the jersey, held on for dear life in the backup defensive end, flung him for a loss.
Yeah, you wonder how a guy with his speed could get flung down with the jersey. You would think he would have probably ran and make him tear it, but I think thought he had an opportunity to make a big play. He got grabbed him by his shirt underneath his jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have been holding my shirt if I would have been running back in the day. He wouldn't have got me with my shirt. Not as powerful and strong as that guy is. 4th
tackle of the year for James Johnson. Tied for 1st on the team with a couple of sacks. Lost a 3, 2nd and 13. Johnson, a little toss to Harvey. He'll try the outside. Garner's got it sniffed out. Harvey dragging guys with him and finally brought down a couple of Garner players in there. Marcus Mosley made the initial hit. A couple of guys in there. James Johnson was there, but it was Mosley who got to the football first. Gain of 2, maybe 3, and now 3rd and long coming up for Knightdale.
Yeah, much better job by the Garner defense, setting the edge, turning him up now, and now he tries to get outside, and he's not making it with momentum. They got away with a little face mask right there. I thought that's why his head came around, but no call on the play, so good luck right there for Garner on that play.
Johnson, little swing pass out to Lamont Chaney, makes a couple of guys miss. Flag coming in. Out across the 40, good enough for a 1st down, but we'll see what the call is. Might be coming back for maybe a block in the back.
Wow. I mean, it looked like he pulled up and didn't make the hit, but we'll see what happens on the play.
It is going to be a block in the back caught against Knightdale, much to the disbelief of Robert Cincinnati. That play happened right in front of him, and you can just see he's a little bit frustrated with the call. And that negates a huge run for Knightdale, what would have been a 1st down.
Yeah, that's a big play because it looked like he was going to get the 1st down regardless. And now that it comes back, it changes the dynamics of, how you call this 3rd down because you did something you hadn't really done on a rollout. And you can see Johnson rolls out, hits him in stride, and, he did give him a little shove in the back. Good call by the referee. It didn't really having a real effect on the play, but he did institute the penalty.
So the penalties from the spot of the foul makes it 3rd down and 7 now from Knightdale. Split backs as Johnson checks his wristband and surveys the landscape. To pass. All kinds of time, now flushed and going to run up the seam. 40, and he's out to midfield. While the defender's there, he'll stiff arm, keep the legs moving, and get down to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, wow, good run by him, and he accelerated. As quick as those receivers are, the DBs were so far away, it was such a big cushion that he was just able to glide. He didn't even downshift and hit the gear. He just had the ability to accelerate, and here he's looking. He doesn't like what he sees. He doesn't force it in the air. He just decides to take off, and now he's just gliding. He's not even in sprinter's mode. He's still able to make his cuts. He gets to the edge, and he's one man away from taking that to the end zone.
So a big gain for Knightdale, moves the chains. Ball will be at the 25-yard line, and Knightdale going in, Joe. When you look at what Garner's done defensively, are you surprised maybe they're not putting a spy or somebody on Johnson?
Well, I mean, you're going to have a spy. He better be pretty fast because this kid has wheels.
Hand off to Harvey is faked. Johnson will keep it, following his blockers, fumbles the football, and Garner falls on it, I believe. No signal, and now Garner football, second fumble for Knightdale tonight.
Big play right there by the Garner defense, and it looked like he was on his way down with the ball, and a real hit comes in at the end of the play and jars that thing loose.
So Garner forces their second fumble of the night, 6th of the year, and every time Garner's forced to fumble, they come away with it.
Yeah, here, nice job on the counter. He gets up inside. He's got it tucked. He needs to get it a little tighter, and then pursuit comes from the backside, and they knock it away. And that's the easiest way to get a fumble, is to get it from the backside on the blind side, and Garner's able to get the strip, and they're back in business.
It was James Johnson who caused the fumble, and I think Marcus Mosley picked it up. So now Garner a long field to go. It'll be Hines. Check that, Britton, who gets out to the 15-yard line. So
yeah,
gain of 2.
Good job right there, defense on and containing Britton. I thought Hines limped off the field a little bit, and I'll be interested to see if he comes back into the lineup right now, because on that goal line play when he and Malone collided, it was big.
No Hines on this play. It's 2nd down and 8 to go for Garner. 6.5 for the 3rd quarter. Garner back in the eye. Hudson under center. Toss is faked. Hudson over the middle. A diving catch made by Braden Sims right at the marker. Pressure provided by Jamie Brown, the cornerback, and it's going to depend on the spot.
Yeah, it looked like he got it from my vantage point, but it's going to be really close.
Braden Sims, his 2nd catch of the game, 27 catches on the year, plays basketball for Garner. There was a flag on the play. It's going to be holding on Garner, so this is going to bring it back and bring up 2nd down and very, very long for the Trojans.
Yeah, they want to stay out of those long yardage situations if they can, and it's not something they want to get caught up in.
So 2nd down and backed up inside the 10-yard line to the 6 is Robertson Senni looking over things, and now Garner's offense will huddle and come to the line with a clap.
Yeah, it looked like Hines is probably going to play a little bit of receiver now, so he's out there in the slot, so we'll see if they try to get him the ball around on this play.
Hudson to pass. Ball is dropped. And some miscommunication there. He had Sims on the outside. I think Braden Sims thought it was going to Nyheim Hines, and now 3rd down and very, very long for the Trojans. 3rd and 17 coming up. Here's a look at the replay.
Yeah, usually when they put him out there, that is with an intent to get him the ball, and I think he thought that he was setting a pick, or setting not a pick, but running a route to free him up a little bit. And fortunately, that the quarterback read him as the open guy and threw it in there, and he wasn't ready for the football.
So now 3rd down, 17 for Garner. They run a handoff with Nyheim Hines. He'll try to bounce it outside. Stumbling past guys. Hines has the 1st down for Garner. And the Trojan fans wanting a flag for a late hit. I don't think they're going to get it, Joe. And now all kinds of begging and arguing from that Garner sideline toward our officiating crew. But credit Hines for keeping the wheels moving and has a 1st down.
Yeah, he gets it inside and he makes a move, and it looks like he's going to be dead to right, and then all of a sudden he stumbles out of it. And when you're stumbling, it usually picks up a little bit of momentum that you wouldn't have had. And that was a good defensive play. He wasn't out of bounds yet. Good job by Knightdale of finishing the play, and we'll see if Hines has any ill effects from that hit.
Halfway through the 3rd quarter, it's Hines again across the 30 and out to the 34-yard line. We'll gain about 5 or 6 yards again.
Yeah, they're going to ride that horse, and you can't blame him. He's been the most successful player on the field tonight, and he's probably getting a little bit tired too, because he's running routes, running deep balls, and getting a lot of handoffs, and he's got a little bit of stumble in his giddy up right now, so he may be a little bit sore out there as well.
Coming off now as Garner will send Hamilton and Sims out wide as Hudson works under center and Garner from the eye. Inside handoff is to Jaquan Harris. He'll lower his head and get a 1st down to the 44-yard line. Couple of Knightdale players in there on the stop. Marcel Johnson, the first man to hit Jaquan Harris, has been a great change of pace back for Garner tonight.
Yeah, and that time he slid up to the fullback position, and he gets the inside handoff, a little bit of belly play, and he gets to the edge, gets up the middle and turns to the edge and takes off running, and he's been getting positive yards on that play tonight.
Garner's found some success here in this 3rd quarter, trail by just 9 and working from their own 45. Hudson, handoff to the fullback. Again, not a whole lot doing there as Harris was hit and mollywopped. The initial hit made by Knightdale's Jeffrey Cox, the outside linebacker. And it look at the replay again, the big hit.
Yeah, they come with the little P10 express play and give him that ball on the fullback the ball and expect the 3 technique to run upfield, but he doesn't. And the linebackers come up and meet him off the cut, and it's bad news for the running back in that situation.
Gain of a yard, 2nd and 9. Sweep to Hines, trying to bounce it outside or up shoulders with Harris. He'll get to midfield maybe. And 3rd down and medium for Garner. 3rd and about 5 or 6 to go. And what do you do here if you're the Garner offensive staff, Joe?
I'm sure they're going to do something with Hines. They're probably going to try to get him the ball in space, or maybe another just direct handoff, because he seems to be able to get the edge most times. He's a pretty patient runner for a guy with that much speed. And you know, they got to ride that horse. I mean, he's their guy. You know, and when he gets the ball, good things happen. And right there, you can see he couldn't get the edge.
And there was a youngster hit on that sideline, Joe, on that Garner sideline. Appears to be okay, though. Hudson throws downfield. Ball is bobbled by Sims. Did he hang on to it? Yes. Ooh. 1st down, Garner.
Oh, good catch in space that time. That was a really tough throw and catch by the receiver and quarterback, and he did a good job of hanging on to it and keeping this drive alive.
And Garner's going to run some personnel on and off the field. I tell you what, Sims is a heck of a possession receiver for Garner. Anytime you need to convert a 3rd down, it's been Sims the guy who Garner's gone to. You can see why here. And a great catch.
A good throw and catch that time. He's blanketed and still able to make the grab.
1st and 10 now from the Knightdale side of the 50. Handoff to Hines. Following blockers. Still on his feet and cuts down inside the 35 to the 32.
Yeah, he's going to have to be the workhorse if they're going to get it done today. And he's up to the challenge. It looks like he's not losing any speed. And even though he's taking a few good shots, he's still able to get positive yards on the runs.
Look at the replay again, partner.
Yeah, there you see him inside. He's got a guy in front of him, a guy kicking out, and you can see Knightdale's getting a little bit frustrated to trying to tackle this young man. He's bringing a lot to the party.
1st and 10 for Garner. Handoff to the fullback, Tyrese Taylor. He's got a 1st down to the 20-yard line. Garner's running it right at Knightdale, and they're not able to stop it right now,
yeah,
Joe.
What we saw in the first half from Knightdale's gap control and patience and linebackers making plays, and now they look a little bit worn down, and that'll happen to you. And that's why we talked about how big those plays were in the first half where they dropped those balls, because Garner seems to get better as the game progresses.
Toss to Hines. Bounces it outside, looking for a block. Malone's chasing him. Hines stumbling. I think he's going to have the 1st down. He's knocked out of bounds, and the corner principal, Drew Cook, right there to help him up.
Yeah, he's got to be a little bit tired. You know, he's carrying the load right now, and every time he runs the ball, he's got to be thinking, man, you know, I'm leaving it all out here, and he's not going to go out there and go when he's half speed. He's going to go catch a quick breath and come back and try to give him his best again.
Try to get to that edge, and a nice job by Marcel Johnson to shoulder him out. Raquan Britton this time for Garner. He'll try the outside, and he's flung down inside the 10-yard line. Nice defensive play by Justin Blango from the outside. The junior brings down Harris and brings up a goal-to-go situation for Garner.
Yeah, a little bit different runner. You know, good speed on the edge with Britton, but he doesn't have the ability to run through some of those tackles that you know, you get from Hines. But he does a good job right here, and got away with a face mask on that play. And you know, it's happened on both sides, and it's part of the problem is because of the speed of these guys on both sides. A lot of times that stuff gets missed.
Hines on the run, pinballing down inside the 5, keeps the leg moving, and he's down to the 1-yard line.
Yeah, they better stop trying to tackle the football and start tackling him, because he's going to drag you to the end zone if you keep trying to grab the football.
So 3rd down, goal to go for Garner from the 2-yard line. And I imagine the ball is going to be in number 2's hands for Garner.
Yeah, you can almost guarantee it. Or they'll go with the fullback dive, since they had so much success with it tonight.
And a timeout called by Knightdale as Garner knocking on the doorstep. And the Knightdale staff realizing, hey, we're winded and we need to break this momentum. But maybe a costly timeout for Knightdale. Now both teams are left with just 1 timeout, Joe, for the final 14.5 minutes of this game.
Yeah, I think. But in this situation, though, this is a big defensive play, and it makes perfect sense. You know, both teams have had to use timeouts they didn't really want to use earlier in the game. And right now, Knightdale is trying to settle the troops down and let the guys know, you know, this is big, and if they can get a stop here, you know, it changes the complexity of the game.
All right, so 2:36 left, 3rd quarter. Garner facing a 3rd down and 2. We'll talk about Knightdale first on defense. If you're Robertson Cinney, what are you doing defensively?
You're just playing gap control defense, and let's make sure tackles if you can. If you're Garner, you know, you want to make this play running downhill. You don't want to really go outside unless you have to. But Garner's got to be thinking that, you know, this is our opportunity to cut into this thing, possibly cut this lead to 2 or maybe even 1.
Third down goal to go. 4-down territory for Garner here.
Oh, most definitely. They're not going to walk away from here without trying to get a touchdown.
Full house backfield for Garner. Hudson under center. Handoff. It's Tyrese Taylor. He's in for a touchdown. 4th rushing score for Taylor this year. And the Trojans have made it a ball game again, trailing by just 3 with the extra point on the way.
Yeah, good job. And that's what I predicted. Get the ball to the big fella on the inside and let it see what he can get. And if he doesn't get it, you come back with your stud on the next play. Now they've got it to 3. I don't think they'll try to kick an extra point in this situation, being down by 3. You've got to go for 2 to try to cut it to 1. Right now, the Garner fans have got to be excited. We see the kids walking around here with no shirt on. I know their mom is going to be watching this and thinking, son, what were you thinking?
Garner going for 2. Hudson from the shotgun, rolls out, fires. Ball is hit, bobbled by Hines. He had it, then he was hit, dropped it. So it's going to remain a 3-point game with 2:32 left in the 3rd quarter. And so far tonight, there was a flag on the play. It's holding on Garner. That'll be declined, so it'll stay a 3-point game. But Garner's capitalized twice on the turnovers and scored 12 points.
Yeah, they run Hines out to the flats and try to get the ball out in space and catch or not. That's going to end bad for him. And, you know, he's a special player, but, you know, a lot of times, you know, a little overkill can get you. And that time you just give it to your big back and let him get behind everybody and showcase his power. And we see it a lot in a lot of leagues now that teams are starting to do this a little bit more. But when you've got a guy that his size, they call him the tank for a reason. You know, 2 yards is supposed to be something that he can get anytime he wants to.
When you look at, you see the Garner fans with their shirts off. I doubt those 4 or 5 young men will be in school on Monday. Probably all going to be suffering from pneumonia.
Probably so. And I employ their enthusiasm, but you know, it sometimes, you know, you can overdo it. You don't see any the parents up there with their shirts off, though. They are out there fully clothed, toboggans and everything. It's that type of weather. It got cold out here really quick.
It's good football weather, Joe.
Nah, it's not.
This is great. Maybe a little light drizzle, too, partner. Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, people who are sitting in the stands say it's good football weather. People on the field say, nah, I'd much rather have 70 degrees.
This is easy for me to say. I'm up in a climate-controlled booth.
There you go.
All right, another big chance for this Knightdale offense. As a stoppage in play from our official on the far side. Maybe the ball teed up wrong. I think he had the ball teed up too forward, maybe, Joe. No.
No, they're on the wrong yard line. It should be on the 40. Yeah. They're kicking over the 35.
Yeah, not kicking off from, it's not college.
Yeah, he's trying to showcase the college scouts. I saw a few of them outside, and, you know, I'm pretty sure he's trying to impress them.
Robert McLam ready to kick it away. This Garner defense has been like a willow tree so far in this 3rd quarter, Ben, but don't break, forcing a couple of turnovers, and Garner's offense is capitalized. A chance again for Knightdale as McLam boots it deep. It'll be fielded inside the 20-yard line. Trying to make a couple of men miss, and is Justin Blango, who's brought down at the 26-yard line, and that's where Knightdale starts, trying to add on to their 3-point lead. It really feels like the momentum has shifted back toward Garner's side here, Joe, with 2.5 left in the 3rd quarter.
Well, it has. They've scored the last 3 touchdowns of the game. They've got momentum on their side. You know, since those couple of drops and Knightdale's offense has sputtered, you know, they haven't been able to get anything going. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go up top really quick right here just to see if they can get something generated offensively.
Johnson working from the shotgun. A back behind him as they work from the pistol. Garner shows blitz. Handoff is fake. Marquavius Johnson will keep it, trying to outrun Mosley on the outside. Woo! Mosley tried to wrap him up and just runs him out of bounds.
Yeah, he's got that gear. He's a special kid. And one of the things about him, you know, he's poised almost always, and he's making pretty good decisions so far tonight. And outside the fumble that he had, you know, he's played a perfect game.
A nice job by Garner using that silent as a defender too, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, you got to use that as your friend in that situation. And you see they've got about 5 or 6 guys in pursuit, and he's smart enough to get out of bounds and protect himself.
Johnson, a handoff this time. It's Nate Harvey up the middle and gets a couple of yards.
Yeah, good job of attacking downhill with the offense, and they're probably going to pick up the pace just a little bit. They've gotten a little flat. They may try to speed it up a little bit to see if they can get a better rhythm.
2nd down for Knightdale, 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Second, about 7 to go for the Knights. Man in motion, handoff up the middle. Not a whole lot doing there. Garner swarming to the football, and you can see where Garner's now focused on stopping the run as Harvey didn't get much there. Maybe if you're Knightdale, you take a shot over top and try to beat the Garner secondary as you had him beat a couple of times in that first half.
Well, I would have thought they would have gone up top a little sooner now because Garner switched up to a little 4-4. They brought the extra man down in the box to get a little help on the run game, and it's changed things up a little bit. They've been playing a 4-3, but more of a cover 3 look to get that extra guy up. And, it changes things when you do that.
Big third down here. 3rd and 5 for Knightdale from right around midfield. Johnson, handoff, Harvey up the middle, lowers the head and has the first down.
Yeah, that's confidence right there in your running game. And, it takes that. Sometimes you got to have a guy who's willing to just stick his nose up in there and get big yardage. And that time he was able to stick his nose up in there and reel off 7 good yards. Good job by the quarterback, too. Most times, a quarterback who is a playmaker like him would just keep the ball anyway and make up their mind they're going to keep it. But he read it true to form and handed it off. And, that's one of the things that makes teams like this good is you have to be a little bit unselfish and be smart in your ways. And so far, Knightdale's demonstrated that.
1st and 10, Knightdale from the Garner side of the 50. Trojans will crowd the box as Johnson checks his wristband. Handoff, Harvey again, and gets a couple of yards. I've been really impressed by Nate Harvey and the way he's been able to kind of take some of the load off of Marquavius Johnson tonight.
And that's what we talked about in the beginning of the game. Both teams have playmakers who can make plays, but one team's going to have somebody else that can step up, and that's going to be the difference in the game. And so far, his accomplishments have been the difference in the game. He's been at, the long touchdown run early in the game and getting these tough yards when they need them. He's been a difference maker, and that's what it takes when you can have the superstar, but you've got to have somebody else to complement them in order for it to have success.
I think that might be the final play of the third quarter as Knightdale trotting to the sideline. It will be, and that will truncate the third quarter of play. It's a 34-31 lead for Knightdale. Knights holding up 4 fingers, Joe, to signify, hey, we're ready for the fourth quarter. Same thing being done on that Garner sideline as well. So a 34-31 lead for Garner as we get set to start the fourth quarter. And we'll step up here to the booth and a chance for an interview. Leanne Ford and Anna Gay are joining us to talk about the Knightdale Academy of Environmental Science. And we'll let either one of you start on what the Environmental Academy is.
Sure, I'll talk first. My name is Anna Gay, and the Knightdale Academy of Environmental Studies, or CASE is what we call it. It's a small community within Knightdale High School. And this year we're really working on writing some grants to work on some opportunities for our students. They just won a composting grant, and that's a project they're working on incorporating into the school.
And how will you guys incorporate this into the school?
We're actually going to start composting and recycling in our cafeteria during lunch every day. And that's our main focus, is to make sure that we have projects that translate to real life experiences and are very authentic. We really focus on authentic learning for our students, so we try to reach out to the community to try to make things authentic beyond school as much as possible.
And final thought for you guys, if folks want to learn more information, where can they go to find out more information?
They can find us on the main school website. On the Knightdale website, we have our own website from that website.
Okay, great, guys. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.
That was Leanne Alford and Anna Gay from the Knightdale Academy of Environmental Science as we get back to action here. Garner on defense, and Knightdale picks up a couple of extra yards and brings up a third down. So third down coming up for Knightdale as we appreciate Leanne and Anna joining us. Live from Knightdale High School, it's Garner and Knightdale, the headline game in the Greater Neuse River Conference, winner in control of the conference. Knightdale looking to lay claim to its first conference crown. Garner hoping to continue a reign in the Greater Neuse River. 3rd and 4. Handoff to Nate Harvey. He'll move the sticks again for Knightdale.
Yeah, Nate Harvey's getting those tough yards, Chris, and he has the ability to make a big play at any time. But the fact that he has the ability to get these tough yards takes a lot of pressure off this team, because they have shown a lot of resilience, and he's adding and contributing to that. And the offensive line is doing their part now, and they're able to get positive yards and grind a lot of time off this clock.
Johnson takes the sweep, going to keep it inside the 30 and down to the 24-yard line. Raekwon Britton there to bring him down. Marcus Mosley also in on the stop.
Yeah, good pursuit on the backside by the Garner defense, and if that pursuit's not there, he's got time to wait and allow the blocking to materialize, and it could possibly got to the end zone. But you can see the pursuit coming from the backside, and they're working hard to try to get to him, and they're able to make plays because of it.
And Knightdale's just said, we're going to beat you on the ground here this drive, and so far they've done that, moving the ball down the field on this Garner defense. 2nd down and 8 now as Johnson works from the pistol. It's Harvey again. He's been the workhorse on this drive, Joe. He's spun down at the 25-yard line. Not a whole lot of breathing room there for Nate Harvey, and brings up another 3rd down for this Knightdale offense.
Well, what they're doing is they're working that clock, and that works to their advantage, but they can't do it this time and not get points on the board, and Harvey has to come off the field because of a helmet coming off. So that may change the perspective of what they do offensively this time.
They're going to come off for at least one play. That's a new rule in high school the last couple of years. So they run Marcel Johnson on, and maybe a blessing in disguise for Harvey. He gets a sip of water and a chance to catch his breath.
Yeah, they didn't. It's not like they got worse in the backfield either. They brought another horse in that can make big plays for them.
3rd and 5. Handoff is fake. Marquavius Johnson will keep it. He's got a first down and more. It'll be 1st and goal Knightdale from the 5-yard line as Johnson, a big burst of speed, and now a late flag coming in. We'll see what this is all about.
Yeah, when he hit the accelerator, you saw it. That was track speed right there. He separated fast when he made up his mind he was going to run on that play.
Our officials conferring, and a face mask 5-yard variety called on Garner, so that'll be half the distance to the goal and maybe change the play call. But to your point about Marquavius Johnson in track, Joe, he actually went down to Puerto Rico. We'll finish the story after the replay.
Right here you see he gets to the edge, and watch when he accelerates right now. He makes up his mind he's going, and it's like, it's lights out. He just accelerates. And
yeah, you can see the face mask play.
Yeah, he's a legitimate ball player.
Yeah. I actually went to Puerto Rico this past summer, competed in a national event, a world championship event, got a silver medal in 2 events. You can see why he's got some speed, but speed doesn't help him there as Garner gets some penetration on the offensive line, and James Johnson there to bring him down.
Yeah, they changed things up and put him under center, and with a guy like that, it's hard to see things and read it, and he ran into the fullback, and that didn't help at all. And then Garner was already setting on the edge. They tried to run a little bit of a lead option a little bit with him, and it just didn't materialize because of a good defensive call by Garner.
And just to finish the thought on Johnson, one of 16 boys from the entire country that was invited to go and participate in this event, so got some pretty good pedigree behind it. 2nd and goal Knightdale from around the 10-yard line. Split backs for the Knights. Handoff to Marcel is faked. Quay Johnson will keep it, trying the outside, and he's spun down at the 4-yard line by Michael Jenkins.
Yeah, if he doesn't stumble right there, he probably takes that one to the house. But good job on the fake, though. He fooled everybody on the Garner defense, but maybe a couple of players in the secondary. And showcasing his ability. When he accelerates, we talk about how dynamic this kid is. If he was a little bit more polished as a passer, he'd be lethal out there. But, he does what this team needs him to do, and he doesn't try to step outside of what he can do.
3rd down, goal to go for Knightdale, ball at the 5-yard line. You have to think it's 4-down territory right here, don't you, Joe?
Oh, definitely. I don't think they're thinking field goal at all.
Marcel Johnson to the outside.
Touchdown.
In. No, down at the 1.
Oh, my goodness.
They say he's down at the 1-yard line.
Are you kidding me? Wow, I thought he was in. He fell across the line, but
Johnson pleading his case saying, hey, coach, give me the ball. Here's a look at the replay.
Here's the play coming to your left side, and you can see the contact and the play down low, and he lands. Oh, good call by the referee. He's right on top of it. The ball didn't cross until he slid across. Good job.
Boy, I tell you what, our camera people right there on top of us. That's why we got the best crew in the business.
And they get it done.
Yeah, they do. Couldn't think of a better crew I'd rather work with on a Friday night than these guys.
Oh, yeah, they get it in.
From inside the 1-yard line, it's 4th and goal. They send Marcel Johnson slot to the right. It's a pitch to Harvey. One-on-one to the outside. No question this time. Touchdown, Knightdale.
Yeah, that's a statement run right there. They saw the defense being stacked to the wide side of the field. They decided to go the other way, and then they're able to get the toss out there, and one-on-one with him, he's going to win that battle more times than not.
2nd rushing score for Nate Harvey tonight, his 10th of the year. And Knightdale with an extra point coming, Joe, a chance to go up by 10. And again, it's a 2-score game.
Yeah, that's big because the complexity of the game is now you've got to get 2 scores, and that's going to take time, especially for a team that likes to run the ball. And with 7:31 left and to go in the game, it raises Knightdale's expectations a little more.
And the kick is up and good. Garner brought some pressure, but the kick squeaks in through the upright, and now a 10-point Knightdale lead, 41-31, with 7.5 left, and still a lot of football to go. And this one is going to be an exciting finish here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel.
Yeah, we're getting a good game, and this is what we thought we'd get from two teams that are ranked in the top 10 in the area, and both teams are living up to the billing. And you know, there's a lot of fight in Garner, and there's a lot of fight in this Knightdale team, and they're being fueled by this home crowd. And right now, this crowd has to be feeling pretty good about where they stand, but they got to be a little bit nervous at the same time because they know that number 2 is on the other side, and anything can happen as soon as he gets the ball.
Here's the touchdown run for Knightdale. Harvey just got to the outside and scored it for the Knights.
Yeah, that's just Will right there. He basically took the toss and was able to get to the edge. And here you get a better look at the blocking scheme. You see everybody's got a hat on a hat. Now it's one-on-one with him and the next guy, and he doesn't allow him the opportunity to make contact. He shifts down and decides to leap forward and try to get that touchdown. And on 4th down, you got to sell out like that on 4th down because there's no other chances coming your way.
So Knightdale back up by 10. Fans are bundled up and excited for the final 7.5 of this one. It's rocking from Knightdale tonight, the biggest game in Knightdale program history. And this game has lived up to the pregame billing and all the hype.
Right now they got to be feeling it, and all those pep rallies and all of that excitement that's been in the air is coming to fruition, and they can sniff victory. And all they have to do now is just hold on for these next 7 minutes and 31 seconds and make it happen.
Jermaine Royster is back deep for Garner. It'll be Raekwon, or check that. It'll be Jaquan Harris for Garner up the sideline, and Harris out across the 35-yard line in good field position for Garner from right around the 35.
Yeah, good field position is key, and now Garner's going to come out, and we're going to probably get a big dose of Hines and a few little maybe Braden Sims, and you can expect that, but right now it's about execution, and the main thing for Garner is to get first downs and then convert it into a touchdown.
It can't take too much time either if you're Garner.
No, well, no, because Knightdale has the ability to run the ball, so you've got to try to get it and get points pretty quick.
From the shotgun, Hudson to pass, all kinds of time. Fires downfield, got Sims wide open, caught at the 50, Sims to the outside 30, needing a couple of blocks. He's inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
Yeah, you wonder how a guy like that gets that open unless somebody fell down on the play. And, he's their go-to receiver in a lot of situations, and there was nobody within 20 yards of him on the catch.
Sims comes from a Garner football lineage. His dad played football at Garner, his brother on the JV team as well.
Yeah, and you can see the play right away, and just the breakdown in coverage. The linebacker didn't get a drop, and the corner or the safety, whoever was checking him on the outside, didn't really run with him. Unless they were supposed to be in a zone coverage, that was just bad defense.
And this is Hines this time darting to the outside, inside the 10, and stays in bounds. It'll be first down. Check that. I think it'll be 2nd and 1 for Garner from the 11-yard line.
Yeah, good defense right there on the edge, not allowing him to turn the corner, but good job of Hines of getting aggressive downhill runs. And you can see there's a lot more to this kid than just speed. He has the package, and when he gets outside, he has the ability to make people pay, and here he just rides it on out.
It's 2nd down and 2 officially. Hines again, a flag coming in, has the first down, but let's see what the flag is about. Maybe some kind of holding there in the interior, Joe?
You got to think it's holding when the ref throws the flag in the hold that hard. It's usually holding. Yeah. Usually if it's another penalty on the defense, the flag kind of goes in the air. When he throws it at it, he's trying to mark where the play was actually happening.
And it is going to be a holding foul on Garner, and that negates the first down run by Hines and puts Garner bottled up a little bit, Joe, and complicates things for this Garner offense.
Well, what it does also is it increases the distance, which means you got to run more time off the clock unless you hit the home run right here. And right now the clock is not Garner's friend if it continues to count down.
And they're trying to wind the clock. They've yet to wind the clock. And here we go. 6:20 left. Clock moving from the shotgun. Hudson, pressure coming, sacked from behind. It was Chris Malone.
And Chris Malone coming off the edge, and he came unabated to the quarterback right there as nobody decided to step in front of him. and he's able to deliver a pop, and they're fortunate that the quarterback was able to hold on to the ball because he ran through him pretty easily on the play. And here you see it, the quarterback steps up, and he's coming hard. Nobody blocks him, and he's able to lower the boom on the quarterback. If he's raising up to make a throw at that point, it's going to be an easy fumble.
Yeah, pressure from the blind side, maybe a straight corner blitz there, I think, from Knightdale.
Yeah, they mixed it up a little bit, and he was the one who was beat on the play early on the deep pass, so he had a little bit of redemption on his mind.
5.5 to go. Hudson shifting personnel as Hines goes out wide to the left. Now in motion. Fake to him. Hudson fires over the middle. Ball is thrown behind his receiver. A flag coming in for pass interference. They were trying to hit Terry Whitehead, and ball underthrown, and maybe a questionable flag there if you're a fan of the Knightdale Knights.
Unless they're calling face shielding, which I didn't think he was doing. I don't understand that one, but, you know, maybe there's more contact than we can see at this point. We'll probably pick it up on the replay a little bit, but I thought it was pretty good defense. He was beat. He was running. He was chasing like he was supposed to do. He stuck his hand up. He didn't stick both hands up. He stuck one hand up, which he's allowed to do. So we'll see what happens in this situation.
Still third down, and here's the pass interference call again.
Yeah, the fake was a really good one, and the quarterback lays it up, and here's the play, and no, I don't know about that. That's just a bad throw. I don't think that's pass interference. But hey, good. It worked out for Garner on the play, and hey, they kept the drive alive. The clock is now back on their side, and they're trying to get a touchdown on the play.
Hudson to pass. He'll fire for Sims in the end zone, and Sims scores for Garner.
Yeah, Knightdale defenders ran in each other, and Sims is able to cradle the touchdown, and that hurts Knightdale a little bit because that's a little bit too quick of a score. And now that offense is going to be burdened with the task of trying to maintain the ball and put some more points on the board and not give the ball back to that Garner offense.
Second touchdown grab of the year for Sims. And now Garner going to line up to go for the extra point, trying to cut into this lead some more. It'll be Robert McLam, who's been the kicker exclusively for Garner tonight. Good snap, good spot, and the kick is also good. So, Joe, 5:18 to go, fourth quarter. What we thought we were going to get into, a high-scoring affair with defense optional at times tonight, back to a three-point game. And Knightdale gets the football back.
Yeah, they get the football back, and that Garner defense has been up to the task so far in this half, with the exception of the last drive. And right now, Garner's gonna want to try to get this football back. So good play, and you see the Knightdale defenders just running each other. It wasn't a great pass outside, but it was efficient. And the attention is always going to be on Hines, and they come away from it and go up top, and you know, a little slip and a few things that worked against them, but. And you got to commend that Garner offense of being persistent and making plays. And this time you had guys step up beside Hines, and we talked about who it would be, and this time it was Sims.
Seems like Sims has been kind of that forgotten receiver for Garner this year, Joe. You look, he's 6'2", 187, a senior, a guy that can really dependable and get you catches, but doesn't have a whole lot of yards or touchdowns tonight. Seems like he might be the guy that gets lost in the shuffle a little bit at times.
Well, what happens is, you know, their ability to run the ball is so strong that a lot of times you can get caught up into that. And then other times, you know, the quarterback may not be having a great day at getting into the ball. And then sometimes there's other guys. And, you know, when you have a team that can run the ball that averages 300 yards a game rushing, you know, I'm from the school of if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I agree. Short kickoff, near side, Chris Malone. Reversing field, needing a block, has it right up the gut. A good return for Knightdale's Malone, finally planting at the 45-yard line. So 55 yards to go for pay dirt. 5:07 left. Garner has one timeout, can stop the clock once, and if you're Knightdale, you have to figure maybe 2 first downs, Joe.
Yeah, you got to be thinking that. A couple of first downs, you know, I think they got to be thinking touchdown, though. I think with 5 minutes left to go in the game, you got to make some things happen. You know, another touchdown. Build your cushion, keep that lead at 10 if you can, and allow your teammate to be great.
Knightdale from the pistol, or as we call it, the power pistol, with a running back now shifting to the right of Quay Johnson. Handoff, Nate Harvey, been the workhorse here in the fourth quarter and gets 4 yards.
Yeah, Nate Harvey's been the intangible so far for Knightdale with his ability to run and get tough yards, and, you know, strong runner too. He's not the biggest kid on the block, but he sure does play big.
Second down for Knightdale. They give him 3 officially to the 47-yard line, so it's second down, 7 to go. Clock is the ally of the Knights now. Probably going to get a steady dose of the run here, you would imagine. As the handoff is faked, it'll be kept by Marquavius Johnson. He'll try the outside and has a first down for Knightdale.
Yeah, does a good job of staying in bounds as well. You know, good defensive play by Garner in the secondary because it looked like it was going to be a really big play.
It was Hines who made the stop.
And, you know, Hines does a good job of coming up and making the tackle and making a sure tackle at that.
And the biggest thing, as you said, he stayed in bounds. Clock stops to move the chains, and now we'll start again once the ball gets set. Marquavius Johnson from the shotgun. Handoff. Oh, some miscommunication there. Flags coming in from the back judge, and not much doing there as I think Johnson held on to the football, but Harvey's tried to snatch it from him, Joe.
Yeah, it was a situation where there wasn't a good mesh point, and I think the running back thought he was going to get it, but I think it's a hold on the offense anyway, so it's probably going to come back.
Our official jogging to let us know it is going to be a hold on Knightdale. And with 4:14 left, bottles the Knights up, Joe. And do you go to the air now, or do you keep things on the ground?
I think you keep it on the ground. I think they got to, you know, in a way it works to their advantage because it increases the length they have to go, and it gives them an opportunity to run more clock if they can get first downs. But if they don't get a first down, then it works out bigger for Garner.
Johnson fakes the pitch. He'll keep it. Trying near side, needing a couple of blocks. Woo! Has one. Big hole for Marquavius Johnson.
Oh, my
They're
goodness.
not going to get him. Touchdown, Knightdale.
He ran him out of his form when he hit the corner right there, and that's just pure speed. You don't coach that, son. You're born with it.
56 yards for Johnson, and that might be the deal breaker right there, partner.
That's a big play. It's still a lot of time on the clock, though, with an explosive team like Garner. But that's one that has to feel good. But when he hit that corner, it was no stopping him, and he had his mind made up. Nobody was going to catch him. And then Britton had a nice little angle on him and looked like he was going to make a play. And then he saw him and just hit the B button and just pulled away.
5th rushing score of the game for Marquavius Johnson, and Nick Pope will add the extra points.
Yeah, that's big. And, you know, this game is living up to the billing. 10-point lead again, 3 minutes and 55 seconds. It might be a little bit too much for the Trojans to overcome.
But big plays were the story coming in, Joe, and big plays have been what we've seen so far tonight.
Yeah, and I was thinking that, you know, Garner wouldn't be able to give up 45 points and win this game. And when they got to 34 rather quickly at the half, I was wondering how that would materialize. But Knightdale has been hanging on to the lead so far in this half. Garner's putting up a really good fight. But right now, time is not on their side.
The last time Garner did not win, and we'll look at the replay, Joe, and this is just outrunning everybody.
Yeah, he gets to the edge, and then when he puts his foot in the ground, watch the acceleration and the knees come up, and Britton's got a good angle, and then he just runs the poor man out of his form right there. Here you get a better look at it on the turn. A good block right there by his brother, Johnson, and when he accelerates, it makes up his mind. Look at the turnover on his feet right there, and that's the track speed right there, and there's nothing you can do about that.
And this one's coming right at you.
Yeah, and you can see his brother's block right there on the comeback, and then kick out blocks here, kick out blocks there, and then he accelerates, and look at the speed right here. I mean, that's just quickness. There's not a lot anybody can do when a guy is that fast in that situation.
So a rushing score for Marquavius Johnson, his 5th of the game, and Garner's offense has work to do now, down by 10, 3:55 left. It's a squib kick, and it's coming back to lateral back to Hines. It was fitted by Britton. He'll lateral to Hines, trying to make something happen as he gets up to the 38-yard line. So Knightdale, Joe, 3 minutes and 45 seconds away from putting a stranglehold on their first conference championship. Garner has not relinquished the Greater Neuse River Crown since Harnett Central took it from them in 2009.
Wow, and you know, it's just Garner's a model of consistency, and they're one of those teams that you just every year you look at the rankings and you look and you see their name hovering around the top. And as far as conference wins go, they're almost always at the top, and no letdown in this team. So I'm not going to write them off yet because they have the ability to make plays.
And strange things have happened in games like this where you never know what might happen. 3:45 left. Garner from the shotgun with Bryton Hudson. Pressure coming. Hudson dumps it downfield. Ball caught by Jaquan Harris. It'll be a first down. And now the question becomes, when does Garner burn that last timeout?
Well, right now that timeout isn't an issue. As the clocks move in high school, they got an opportunity to get set. They should already have the play predetermined what they're going to do, and it'll be up to Knightdale to determine how they're going to match up defensively.
Chain set. Clocks begin. As Hudson gets the snap, Pressure again from the blind side. He'll throw it downfield, and a diving attempt and a catch is made by David Hamilton, a couple of yards shy of the first down mark.
Yeah, and it's still first down. I mean, the clock doesn't stop because they didn't get a first down, so they got to get the play in and get everybody moving. And right now, time is just not their ally.
Down to 3 minutes and 13 seconds now. Shifting personnel. Tyrese Taylor to the right of Hudson on 2nd and 2. Hudson flushed, going to throw it downfield, and the ball is tipped and almost picked off. Trying to hit Braden Sims, but the ball tipped by Petey Hyman. And that'll stop the clock. 3:01 left, and now 3rd and 2 coming up for Garner.
Yeah, they've made Marcel Johnson the designated rusher, and he's getting pressure on the quarterback pretty easily in both sides. And that time, they were able to force him into a throw that could have been picked off, and it would have iced this game for Knightdale.
Good sportsmanship there by Hyman, helping Sims up off the turf.
Yeah, you got to like these. I mean, that's the good thing about high school football. You know, I think a lot of times the fans may take it more serious than the kids do as far as what the rivalry.
Slip screen to Hines, so get the first down and get out of bounds. Smart play by the Garner junior.
Yeah, he got yard all he could get and got the first down. You know, got positive yards. He could have fought a little bit more and tried to get more, but he was smart because he needed to stop the clock.
2:54 left. Garner shuffling personnel on and off the field. Tyrese Taylor comes off. Hudson coming back on with the play along with Terry Whitehead, the tight end. Hamilton, Sims go out wide to the left. Jaquan Harris to the bottom of your screen with Whitehead in there to block for Hudson. The left-handed quarterback back to pass. Double pumps down the field for Sims. Ball caught and dropped. Chris Malone making the coverage there for Knightdale. He'll prostrate a little bit and draw the ire of some of the Trojan fans.
Yeah, good job of closing on that. It looked like it was going to be an easy catch, and he was able to rake across the hands at the last second and knock the ball away from the receiver. Quarterback gets plenty of time on the play, and he lays it up out there, and it looks like it's going to be an easy catch, and he comes in and dislodges the ball at the last second, and that's what you like to see from your DBs in the secondary.
Yeah, we saw some good sportsmanship earlier. Not sure that would really be warranted there, Joe.
Well, I mean, you make a play like that, you got to pat yourself on the back a little bit. I mean, you know,
okay,
I understand in football, you got to have a little bit of that in your blood if you're going to be good.
2nd down and 10 for Garner. Hines in motion from right to left. Hudson rolls out, fires. Ball is caught by Sims for a first down.
And see, this is what I expected to see from Hudson a lot earlier in the game. And now as the game gets a little bit clutch, he looks clutch out there. He has the ability. It's about finding a rhythm. And when you can run the ball as good as they can, a lot of times, you know, you don't really think you need it. And then when you need it, you try to turn it on. And I think he's got a lot of potential as a quarterback. You know, he just, you know, it just comes and goes in spells.
Has a pretty good future in baseball, though. All-state pitcher.
He can pitch that ball, man. Watching him pitch that ball is something special.
Went 9-0 for Garner last year. First down, Hudson to pass again. Fires near side for Royster, and he tried a one-handed catch but couldn't haul it in a double coverage. And now 2nd down for Garner, 2:15 left. And there is a flag on the field, so let's hold the phone.
A little bit of two-dog on the play, and he had an opportunity to make a play, and it was just good coverage by the defense.
Flag was thrown on the near side, right about the 25, 26-yard line. Officials huddle. And boy, Garner can ill afford any kind of foul here. They're going to wave off the flag, and any penalty on Garner would be costly for the Trojans.
Yeah, it was a situation where it might have been a sideline infraction or maybe a warning for an infraction or something. The official may have run into somebody, but a good defense right there by the secondary on the play.
Jamie Brown providing coverage for Knightdale along with Chris Malone. And now 2nd and 10 for Garner. Hudson bobbled the staff a bit. He'll fire down the field looking for Hines. He makes the catch. Was he in bounds? Yes, touchdown.
Wow, good catch.
Straddled the end line and got the 1 foot in for the score, and Garner's not dead yet.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to give it to him, but I thought he got that 1 foot down before he stepped out of bounds, which is all you need in high school. And you know, this kid is in there to the end. He's battling it out, and now they just got to figure out a way to try to get this ball back. I suspect we'll get an onside kick with the next play. 4th total touchdown for Hines tonight. 2 rushing, now 2 receiving. Entered play tonight with 39 total touchdowns. He's been the everything guy for Garner this year. Now McLam for the extra point is right down Broadway. So Garner cuts it to within 3 points again, 48-45, 2:09 left, and we'll take a peek at the replay coming up in just a moment. And here you see the quarterback makes up his mind. He's going to Hines outside on his little trail route, and he goes up and he makes a catch, and he gets the foot down like I thought he did. He got it down right before he crossed the line. He actually might have gotten 2 in when he made the catch, but nice job on the little trail route, and you can see the concentration that this kid has. But a good ball by the quarterback who stepped up now, and he's throwing darts out there. 1 step down.
Yeah,
right
he got it.
He got the 1 foot down like I thought he did.
How much of that, Joe, is Hines just getting better, and how much of that is just God-gifted ability?
A little bit of the first and a whole lot of the second. This kid he's born with talent, and he works hard too. Don't get it wrong, but he's getting better the more he plays. I know watching him last year, I thought he was a talent, but I thought he was raw. And this year I was wondering how good it would translate, and it's been everything that everyone expected it to be.
All-state performer in football and in track. And Garner will, I think, line up for that onside kick. It'll be Noah Giroux to come on and kick for the first time tonight. Maybe that onside kick specialist. He and McLam have been splitting the kicking duties, and you have to think it's going to go to the top of your screen here on the onside kick.
Yeah, you just pound it in the ground. Oh, that's going to be their ball.
It's going to be Knightdale ball. It didn't go 10 yards before it was touched by Garner. So that'll be illegal touching. Garner pleading for the call. The officials are conferring. It looked pretty easy for us.
Yeah, it looked pretty easy for me to see, but I don't know. I don't see a flag on the ground, and I'm wondering how they're going to call this.
The officials are huddling.
Yeah, they figured it out. Yeah, he touched it at about 8 yards. It didn't quite get to 10. He touched it at 8. That's an easy call right there. And they marked it exactly where he touched it. Good job by the official crew.
Yep, great job to get together and get the call right.
Yes, and a lot of times we pass judgment because things are moving fast, but these guys get a lot more right than they get wrong.
It was a little bit closer on that.
It looked close, but he's got it. He's making contact, and he dropped the beanbag exactly where it was too. Good job by the official. And now all Knightdale has to do is get a first down, and this one is academic.
1:59 left. We've seen Knightdale have some struggles though, Joe, holding on to the football here in the second half.
Yeah, and Garner's going to be tackling the football on this play as well.
Johnson hands it off to Marcel Johnson. He gets by 1 man and fights for more down to the 46, 47-yard line. Is that a situation where you just want to see him, hey, go down, let's run the clock, Joe?
Nah, he's got to try to get first down yardage. They still got a timeout, which could be detrimental. So that he did what he needed to do, but he protected the football in the process, and that was the key. Usually when guys start scrambling like that for yardage, they start holding that ball awkwardly and it gets stripped out. He did a good job of hanging on to it and getting some positive yardage on the play.
Knightdale milking the clock for all it's worth here. 1:26 and counting from the power pistol. Knights on the precipice of notching their first win against Garner in this their 8th try. Garner blitzing, hands off, goes to Harvey around the right side. Garner trying to strip the football. They cannot. Now 3rd down coming up, and I think Garner burns that timeout with 1:10 left.
Yeah, that's a smart call right there. And now, Knightdale needs to get decent enough yardage to make this interesting so that they can run it all the way down on 4th down and even possibly take the delay a game and then before they punt the ball, or possibly try something and run the ball again and hope that they can get the first down if they get enough yardage here on 3rd down.
If you're Knightdale, are you running the football here, Joe?
Oh, yeah, this ball didn't go in the air. The only way it goes in the air is if he's tossing it to somebody on a sweep or something. There's no way that ball goes in the air.
Well, take us inside that Garner defensive huddle. If you're Chuck Profit, their defensive coordinator, what are you telling your guys?
Don't try to be a hero. Stay in your lanes and don't give up the big play. We're going to make the tackle, and we're going to make the tackle and get the ball back. If guys go out and you get an opportunity to get the football, try to get it. But other than that, just be disciplined on this defensive play. For Knightdale, you're telling your guys protect the football at all costs, even if it means you don't get any yards. The clock is our friend right now, and make sure you don't get a bonehead play or do anything crazy. And for the offensive lineman, just fire off and make contact. We can't afford a hold in this situation. Let's just do what we can do and do what we've been doing all game.
This is the game of the week on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. You can watch all kinds of football, basketball, some soccer up there, some softball up there as well, and volleyball on Carolina, our local on-demand channel 199. All kinds of high school football games from all through our state. That's channel 199 on Time Warner Cable. 1:11 left. 3rd down, 11 for Knightdale. 3-point Knights lead. as Johnson gets the snap, keeps it himself up the middle and didn't get a whole lot. So now 4th down for Knightdale. Clock is your friend, and as you alluded to a moment ago, Joe, probably going to run the play clock down and then take that delay of game penalty.
Oh yeah, they're going to run it all the way down and not give them any opportunities, and then probably punt the ball away, or even I've seen situations where teams have gone for it, but at 4th and 8, I don't know if you go for it or not.
Look at Coach Cincinnati telling the officials what he wants to do. Back judge counting down the seconds on the play clock, and Knightdale will call a timeout with 1 second left on the play clock. That's Knightdale's final timeout.
And I've seen a lot of different ways this has been handled, and they're probably going to punt it, and if they punt it, they're probably not going to kick it anywhere near Hines, and it makes perfect sense. Garner doesn't have any timeouts. They've got to go a long way. You get in a nice defense that can make plays and just try not to give up the big play.
It's a 3-point game, and obviously Garner's field goal kicking has been up and down for the Trojans this year, so you have to wonder, Joe, what is field goal range for Garner?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. We saw him kick a little bit in the pregame, and I think you almost got to get to the 20-yard line if you're going to have an opportunity. So this punt is going to be monumental. A good snap is going to be necessary, and getting a good kickoff and keeping them from returning it and minimizing the damage is also going to be essential.
Knightdale trying to beat Garner on the pink night here at Knightdale High School. Both fan bases fired up, energized, and it's resting right now on the right leg of Nick Pope. Gets away a pretty good kick, angling toward the sideline, and gonna bounce out of bounds.
Yeah, really good kick right there. He got maximum yardage. He pinned them back a little bit further than they probably would like to be. But, Garner's got to feel good about having an opportunity, especially when you got 2 on your team.
25 seconds left for Garner and 79 yards to go for Paters. Down by 3. And we've seen Brighton Hudson at quarterback for Garner, Joe, be pretty competent. So 79, 80 yards to go for Garner, depending on whether you look at the footballs. Between the 20 and the 21. Garner trips to the bottom of your screen. Hudson insisting on the tight end Whitehead to move. Hudson has some time, scrambling, flushed, looking downfield, and tries to fire for David Hamilton, but the ball is deflected and incomplete.
Yeah, good job by Marcel Johnson of getting pressure on the quarterback. He was eluding people and trying to get pressure up the middle, and he forced the quarterback to roll against the grain and try to make a throw. And right now the clock is not on their side, and you got to suspect that they're probably going to just start wailing it out somewhere towards Hines on the play. So you make sure you pay special attention to him on this play.
Knightdale fan base ready to explode here on the home side as Garner a play fake. Hudson fires to the sideline, ball caught by Sims and out of bounds.
Yeah, and that doesn't do a whole lot for you. A 3-yard throw, in this situation you need first downs and positive yards, and that just makes this next 2 plays even more monumental because they've only got time to run only 2 plays, and if they make a catch in the middle of the field and they get tackled, this one's over.
See what kind of plays Garner has here. 14 seconds to go, a 3-point Knightdale lead, and this one has been all you hoped it would be and maybe a little bit more. Harris the back to Hudson's right as Garner spreads the field. Hudson has time, looking downfield, fires for Sims, ball caught and out of bounds with 9 seconds left at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, that's about right. They timed it out well, and Marcel Johnson got stood up at the line, and he's been the only person that's been able to get pressure. Quarterback does a good job of throwing the deep out, and you can see the arm that he has. He has a really good release point, indicative of a baseball player.
8 seconds left now, Joe. Chance for one more play?
Yeah, I think 1 play over the middle and maybe 2 plays if you can throw another deep out outside.
Knightdale students are onto the track. If Knightdale can hold on for the final 8 seconds, this is going to be pandemonium. Hudson has time, fires deep down the field, looking for Harris. Ball is knocked away with 3 seconds left.
Ooh, that was a big time play right there as he was able to come across. I thought Harris was going to split him and make the catch, but if he'd have made the catch, I don't know if they'd had time to get another playoff with him going down.
2 seconds left, and here's a look at the replay.
Yeah, you can see the play down the middle, and a good job by the safety of avoiding, but he came across just in time, and that was a big play.
So barring an offensive penalty, Joe, this will be the final play of the ball game.
Yeah, this one's it. You just put a bunch of people deep now and don't give up a big play in this situation.
Hudson, little dump pass out to Raekwon Britton trying to make something happen. Britton gets a block. Down the sideline, he's down, and that's going to do it. Knightdale knocks off Garner for the first time in program history. They storm the field here at Knightdale High School.
And good for them and good for their fans and all these students at this school. And, you know, I commend them and I tip my hat to them as far as this program has gone. But Garner has no reason to hang their head. They hung in and fought like champions, the champions that they are. And, you know, that program is a model of consistency, very class organization, class guys, a class team, and class fans. And you never count them out in any situation. And it's a very good opportunity or a very good chance that these two teams could collide in the state playoffs.
Knightdale notches their first win over Garner and puts a stranglehold on it and wins at least a share of the Greater Neuse River Conference Championship with just 2 weeks to go in the regular season. Boy, partner, sure was a fun one tonight as Knightdale knocks off Garner 48-40. As Knightdale knocks off Garner 48-45. That's going to wrap things up for us here at Time Warner Cable Sports. On behalf of Joe Simmons and our great production team, my name's Chris Edwards. Our time is up. We thank you for yours. Good night from Knightdale High School. The Knights win at 48-45 on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel.